60-second timeout. Cougar foul, number 10, Sydney Freeman, her third, team sixth. Oakhill foul, 33, Adriana Trexler, her second, team fifth. Rebound bucket.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Carroll High School and tonight's broadcast of semi-state football. It's the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports. Well, the Carroll Chargers in a battle of unbeatens against the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. I'm Thad Goff with Jeff Mahoney. It should be an interesting game. Obviously, Carroll, they're making it to their first ever semi-state appearance.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Thad. They won their seventh sectional ever in the program's history. 5 of those have been under Coach Doug Dinan. What a great job he's done here at Carroll. First ever regional championship last week against Lafayette, Jeff, and it was not easy for the Chargers coming back from the 20-7 deficit at halftime. They scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. A huge fourth down stop right there at the 1-yard line, and then the unbelievable interception by Jorge Valdez to kind of seal it with 1 minute left. Looking over here at Hamilton Southeastern, what a game they had against Westfield, shutting out the Shamrocks 20-0 for their regional championship. That's their 5th regional championship in the school's history. Their last time they won a semi-state was in 2005, so absolutely impressed here with what head coach Mike Kelly's been able to do. He's in his 3rd year at Hamilton Southeastern, 26 wins and just 6 losses, Thad.
Well, you think about where Carroll was when this season started. Obviously, they knew they were going to have to come into the season and replace a quarterback with Jeff Becker heading off to college, but then tragedy struck. Owen Sheely passes away due to cancer. Our thoughts and prayers certainly with the family. As having lost a relative to cancer, I can say that the grief never goes away. But all the same, the Chargers have been able to bounce back, and obviously they found their quarterback, Jimmy Sullivan, the sophomore, stepping into the role, and he has had a great season.
Jimmy Sullivan, who was first team all-conference as a sophomore, 6'3", 170 pounds. I like to call him Jimmy Smooth. This guy is unrattled in the pocket. Now, last week against Lafayette, Jeff, they were able to bring a lot of pressure with their defensive front 7, a lot of blitzes coming outside from the linebackers and up the middle. In that game last week, Sullivan was 8 of 18 for 124 yards with 2 touchdowns. That it was not easy to catch the ball last week in that cold. It's going to be even harder this week. Boy, the temperatures are about 20 degrees here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Steady snowfall, and the wind is blowing at our backs right into the sideline of Hamilton Southeastern across the field. Sullivan has completed 179 passes, 274 attempts for 2,103 yards. That 27 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions, 65% completion percentage. So what a year for the sophomore Jimmy Sullivan.
Now on the defensive side, you've got both teams that have some guys who can get after the quarterback. First for Carroll, Ashton Pasetsky, the leader in sacks this season. He's got 11 of those on the season, and Royce Jones has added 9 sacks to that. But for Hamilton Southeastern, they've also got some guys who can get after the passer. Evan Sherrill is one of those guys. He's coming into this game with 16.5 tackles for loss, and Dom Burgett with 11.5 tackles for loss. And speaking of the tackles for loss aspect, Jack Seyferth, a defensive end, is also one of the top tacklers for loss on this Royals team.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and they were all busy last week. Evan Sherrill had a fumble recovery. Look at Jack Seyferth. He had a hit on the QB that led to an interception against Westfield. Mason Alexander, the sophomore, number 15, got that pick, and it really got things rolling for this Royal squad. Westfield was kind of struggling all night to get into a rhythm. Hamilton Southeastern just coming after him from all positions. And you look at Dom Burgett. He's a senior at 6'1", 245. He was all-conference last year out of the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. He was the only Royal to make it that wasn't a senior. He comes in. You know he's an athlete, Thad. Anytime you got a defensive end that's got 2 blocked field goals, you know the kid's a player. He's also a wrestler, and he's got a high motor. So to keep an eye out for number 5, Dom Burgett. He's already got a Ball State visit on the season. As a matter of fact, Peyton Daniels, a cornerback for Hamilton Southeastern, number 1, he's heading to Butler next year.
I think folks around here know a lot about football players who can wrestle. They probably remember Reeve Muncie, who graduated a couple of years ago. I believe he's at, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's at St. Francis.
He is. He's at the University of St. Francis, Thad.
Well, we've got some more stuff to talk about, including the running backs. Both these teams can run the football very well. More on that at the back end of our next break. You are watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better every day after. It's the first day in your new career, your first pay raise, the 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family, or the day of your last car loan payment, much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree, we care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Welcome back. This is the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports. Of course, the winner of this game moves on to the state championship, the 6A state championship. That'll be next Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Now, both these teams bring some really good running backs to the table. We'll start by talking about Carroll. Nate Starks is the leading rusher. He's a sophomore, 1,123 yards coming into this game. Braden Steely, he's no slouch either. He averages over 8 yards per carry. A former linebacker, by the way, so he's got a little bit of toughness to his build.
Yeah, Braden the Beast Steely, he's a MAC guy right now, getting looked at by a lot of the MAC schools. Honestly, we feel like he's much higher than that. I'm actually kind of shocked that he's not rated in the top 10 there in the 247 player rankings. Of course, Mylan Graham in his class, the class of 24, is ranked number 1. Bronte Johnson out of this area also from Northside is ranked number 3. But, yeah, Braden Steely, 418 yards rushing on the season, 11 touchdowns. This guy's an absolute beast. And actually last week he had a 34-yard touchdown run in the third quarter, broke it out wide, went down the sideline. That was a huge touchdown with the Chargers down 20-7 to get them back into the game. Man, arm tackles are not going to bring down Steely. He goes 5'11", 185 pounds. He is tough. He's got a motor that will not stop. I talked about that 34-yard touchdown last week. He also had 10 carries for 86 yards and 13 tackles on defense. He's a big hitter on defense and can be a real game changer.
Well, on the Royals side, they are led in rushing this season by Jalen Alexander, 6 foot, 185-pound junior running back. 1,500 yards this season, 7.6 per carry. The guys behind him are no slouches either. A.Z. Wallace averaging 4 yards per carry, 437 on the season, and Eli Brantman, the senior, just 7 games played, 55 carries. However, he averages over 6 yards per carry when he's in the game.
Jalen Alexander is an absolute beast, number 24, just a junior for Coach Mike Kelly. But, yeah, I'm going to tell you what, Thad, last week against Westfield, he had 30 rushes for 248 yards. He kept gashing the Shamrocks and eventually broke off for a 73-yard touchdown in the third quarter. He followed that up with an 8-yard touchdown. So 248 yards rushing in a regional championship game. Hats off to Jalen Alexander. Once again, 6 feet, 185 pounds. And what I really love about this Hamilton Southeastern offense, they run the pistol, is they'll bring Jack Osiki, the 6-foot, 205-pound junior, they put him on the wing. So he's basically like their fullback. And a lot of times he'll come across the line and pick up the weak side defensive end. So Osiki's been nice for Coach Kelly and these Royals.
Well, winner of this game, again, moves on to the state championship next Saturday, the 6A state championship at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Winner of this game gets the winner of Indy Cathedral versus Center Grove. And that'll be a tough matchup no matter who gets there, no matter who gets there from this game or no matter who gets there from that game.
Yeah, and they're playing that game at Arlington Field, so home of Cathedral. Cathedral is estimated to win that game 35-24 based off the John Harrell, the Sagarin ratings. I'm not sure if it's going to be that high scoring because, Thad, we got bad weather across the state.
Yeah, snow is falling right now. You know, I just saw Torrey Curry, the athletic director at Southside, and he's talking about how it's November, but it's starting to feel like January.
It most definitely is. It feels like the real winter is back here in Indiana. It's getting cold kind of early. You know, going back to Hamilton Southeastern and that running game, they are led on the offensive line by a junior. His name is Styles Prescott. He wears number 74. He goes 6'6", 270 pounds. That he's already got 20 offers under his belt. Most notably, West Virginia and IU. You know, IU's got a lot of offensive linemen from the 260, and West Virginia picked up Landon Livingston last year.
Absolutely. They've sent a couple guys from, or at least one guy from Dwenger in recent years, and they Tom Allen's doing a
Vinny
Fiacable, Mike's younger brother.
Absolutely.
Well, we will be back in just a matter of moments as we bring you more of the semi-state playoffs. In fact, you are watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by SummitCitySports.com.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Welcome back. You are watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports. Well, this is not uncommon under head coach Doug Dinan, but Jimmy Sullivan has a lot of receivers to spread the ball around to. You know, Jeff Becker had a lot of receivers to spread the ball around to when he was the quarterback. Yep. Leading receiver, of course, is Camden Hirschberger, but also Hanson Hafner, Jaden Hill, if I'm not mistaken, a transfer from Lures, and Cooper Rudolph, also some reliable receivers as well.
Yeah, Thad, no doubt about it. Offensive coordinator Andy Papagnianis has always done a great job with this offense and throwing the rock. Numerous, if you look at Vogt throughout the past years, McGill, and then Jeffrey Becker, like you said, a 3-year starter. Now I believe at South Dakota playing for the Jackrabbits. But Camden Hirschberger leads the team with 55 receptions, 6 touchdowns. Hanson Hafner has 10 touchdowns on the season. Cooper Rudolph, 22 receptions for 218 yards. But Jaden Hill, for a while there, people were saying, hey, how come we haven't seen much production out of Jaden Hill? Well, they got it last week. Jaden Hill actually led the team with 4 receptions for 78 yards and had a 32-yard touchdown reception from Jimmy Sullivan. So don't sleep on Jaden Hill.
As I recall, that touchdown reception was the game winner for Jaden Hill.
Yes, sir.
Well, just a moment. Got a few sponsors to get some words from. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in the area in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. And also, Kelly Automotive Group is celebrating their 70th year in business. Shop all 14 of their locations and contact them at brands@drivekelly.com. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They'll help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com for more information. And Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. A system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. Are you ready to do what it takes to put your past behind you? Whether it's expunging your criminal record or helping you to get your driver's license reinstated. If so, Jolly Law Firm is your answer. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration provides top-notch commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. Online degree programs at the University of St. Francis are built for convenience and flexibility. Most degrees can be completed in 12 months. Visit online.sf.edu. That does it for our sponsors for now, at least, as, well, now we're getting even more snow. We can see it coming in right over the booth.
Yeah, Thad, and it's really going to be interesting. I mean, Hamilton Southeastern last week ran for 354 yards on just 53 carries. They averaged 6.7 yards per carry with those 2 touchdowns. And that was, once again, versus the Shamrocks. So obviously that bodes well for this squad. And a huge offensive line that averages 264 a man. Styles Prescott, we talked about him. He's only a junior. But the rest of the guys are all seniors. Alex Boothby, he's 6'2", 265 pounds. Kyle Young at 6 foot, 285. Teddy Johnson, 5'10", 240. And Colin Kreckler at 6'2", 260 pounds. Now looking at Carroll last week, they had a little bit more of a diversified offense as Sullivan threw for 124 yards and they ran for 125 yards. So it will be tough for this Charger defense to figure out this run game that Coach Kelly brings to the table.
By the way, a quick shout-out to a former Charger, Drew Tranquil. He's got a brother playing in this game, Ethan Tranquil.
Yeah, and Ethan got a lot of playing time last week. You know, they've been really rotating some guys in at that middle linebacker position. Julian Riddleheim had 4 tackles in that game, and Tranquil really stepped out. 9 tackles, a great game for the sophomore. As a matter of fact, that you're going to see some really good sophomores in this game. Samuel Frizinger, he's an outside linebacker, 6'2", 190, and William Jeffries, an outside backer at 5'10", 180, all for the Chargers. So a really good sophomore class over here at Carroll.
What have these teams done to get here? Obviously, they've gone undefeated throughout the regular season. Carroll has gone on the road to Penn in the first round of sectionals, won that 35-7. They went home to take on Warsaw. They won that one 34-17 for the sectional championship. And then last week was that come-from-behind win at Lafayette Jeff, 21-20 to win regionals. For Hamilton Southeastern, they started off with a 35-0 shutout over the Homestead Spartans. Carroll knows them well. Then they went on the road for the sectional championship to take on Fishers, a Fishers team that took the Royals to overtime in the regular season. Well, the sectional game did not go to overtime. 35-13 was the final. The Royals won that. And then they shut out Westfield last week, 20-0 in regionals. So now here we are, here at Carroll High School, and we're going to crown a semi-state championship. Yep. We're going to send somebody to state.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Somebody's going to take on the winner of that Center Grove and Cathedral game. 2 storied programs. honestly, when you throw Westfield in the mix, those are probably 3 of the best 6A programs throughout the past 5 years in the state of Indiana. You know, going back to Hamilton Southeastern, that we know how important special teams are in a game like this, and you really got to take your hat off to Carter Gutt, the senior kicker for the Royals. Where's number 91 goes 6'6", 205 pounds. Last week, he hit a 32-yard field goal and a 27-yard field goal. He was 2 of 2 in field goal attempts and 2 of 2 in PAT attempts. Really solid for Hamilton Southeastern.
Well, in just a moment, we'll be back. We have actually had the national anthem already, but we are going to have, I believe, this announcement of the starting lineups in just a matter of moments. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
Fans. And then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Well, here come the Chargers out of the tunnel, ready for their semi-state matchup with Hamilton Southeastern. By the way, you are watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports. And I believe Jeff's got the starters for us.
Yeah, we'll start off with Carroll Chargers. Jimmy Sullivan, who was first-team All-Conference, your starting quarterback. Nate Starks at running back, second-team All-Conference. Cam Hirschberger, second-team All-Conference wide receiver. Hanson Hafner, Cooper Rudolph, and the tight end listed is Jaden Hill. Your starting offensive line, Aiden Hunley, who was first-team All-SAC. Jonathan Scott, second-teamer. Jake Wilson, the center, first-teamer. Right guard, Jaden Barkalow. And your right tackle is Caden Abbs. He's just a sophomore, Thad. Looking at the starting defense here for Hamilton Southeastern, your defensive end, Evan Sherrill. He's an absolute beast. A senior at 6'1", 220 pounds. Jack Seaforth, nose tackle, 6'2", 235. And Dominic Burgett, 6'1", 245, the other defensive end. Griffin Haas is awesome, the Mike linebacker. Judah Parker, the Will. Shane Gastineau. You remember Mark Gastineau from the Jets way back in the day? Boy, that's a good last name for a linebacker. Clayton Allen, the anchor back. He goes 6'1", 185. The anchor back is usually that hybrid defensive back linebacker type. And then you got Cole Earlywine, a senior at 6 foot 195, your safety. Mason Alexander, another safety. Donovan Rhodes at corner. And Peyton Daniels, the other corner.
Well, we're just about to have the coin toss, it looks like, as Carroll has their captains picked out. I got Cam Hirschberger as one of those captains, along with Jorge Valdez. No surprise with those two. Cooper Rudolph, one of the other captains. And it looks like Maxton Wired is the last captain, number 9, a linebacker, inside linebacker for the Carroll Chargers. We've got three teams from Fort Wayne, Indiana, who are in semi-state. Bishop Luers is in semi-state, and so is Snyder. Now, Snyder, they know what it's like to get through sectionals, get to regionals, get to state. They've won 2 state championships in their history. Carroll has not won one, but first their focus is on Hamilton Southeastern, and obviously it's not going to be an easy matchup, really, for either side.
Yeah, Valparaiso 9-3 at Fort Wayne Snyder. That's a big one right there. And then you had talked about Lures. They're 8-5 traveling to Andrain. Andrain has the number 1 ranked player in the state of Indiana, class of 2023, and Drake Bowen. He's going to Notre Dame. Heading down a little bit, Thad, don't forget about Adams Central. They're traveling to North Judson. Adams Central, the Flying Jets, are also undefeated on the year with a 13-0 record.
Both teams are at midfield for the coin toss, and looks like the referee is about to flip the coin. Well, in the meantime, we'll be right back. Nope, we'll keep it right here. I believe the announcement was Carroll won the toss and elected to receive. The referee was pointing at Carroll just a minute ago. So the Chargers going to take the football first.
Wow, so that's interesting right there. You win the coin flip and you choose to take the ball. So Coach Dine and Andy Papagiannis, the offensive coordinator, they want to come out and make a statement with their offense on this opening drive. Normally in these conditions, you might defer to the second half. So looks like Hamilton Southeastern will be able to receive to start the second half, which is a good thing for Carroll because they're going to be able to choose which direction of the field they want to kick off from, which might mean they could have the wind in their back, at their back in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's Braden Steely who's going back deep for the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, Steely was absolutely great last week with kickoff return yards. I believe he had 1 kickoff return for 34. Yeah, Steely last week had a kickoff return for 33 yards for the Chargers.
Trent Smith to kick it off for Hamilton Southeastern. He's got the ball on the tee, and of course with the snow whipping around and the wind blowing, you certainly hope that we don't have any issues with the wind blowing the ball off the tee.
Steely with 6 kickoff returns on the season. He averages 34 yards per return with a long of 54. He does have 1 kickoff return that he's taken to the house.
And we are underway here at Carroll High School. And that's Steely who fields it at the 14-yard line, cuts it back across the 25, and gets out to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. Some good starting field position for the Chargers.
Yeah, and that Hamilton Southeastern kickoff team, they do a great job of pursuing to the football. You're going to see this on the defensive end as well. Really, really solid in kickoff coverage all season long.
Well, we talked about Jimmy Sullivan. He is a sophomore quarterback, first-year starting quarterback here at Carroll, taking over for Jeff Becker. And obviously difficult circumstances coming into the season with the death of Owen Shealy. Carroll has been able to put out a good football team onto the field. Empty backfield to start out for the Chargers. And Sullivan, no surprise, looks to throw right away. Flushed out, goes to the sideline, has a man, and it's caught! Jaden Hill down the sideline. Can they catch him? Inside the 5 and down to the 2, maybe the 1. First and goal, Chargers.
Unbelievable. What a great job of protecting the quarterback by the offensive line. Sullivan had all day to throw that ball. Look how smooth he is in the pocket. An unbelievable first play of the game, Thad. Who would have thought it? They go to the pass. Empty backfield. I'm sure everybody's like, what is going on? Sullivan, no pressure at all, finds Jaden Hill. And that's one of those plays right there where you just want your wide receiver to get open because, man, he had all time in the pocket, gets chased down from behind. But, wow, what a way to start this game by the Chargers.
And you wonder if the plan will be any different here with the Chargers so close to the goal line. It's going to be Sullivan on a keeper. Lunges and did not get there. He stopped inches short, it looks like.
Yeah, that, and actually that's that Wildcat Diamond package that they showed a lot last week. That was Braden Steely in the Wildcat. He's got 2 running backs to his side and 1 behind him, so this is kind of their powerhouse package.
Ball is marked at the 1-yard line, second and goal. I believe that's Steely in the gun again. He takes the snap, goes the other way, fighting toward the goal line, and he's pushed back by the Royals.
Yeah, great job there by the linebackers for Hamilton Southeastern. Haas, Parker, Gastineau. Let's take another look at it. I mean, these guys are no pushovers. Strong defensive line. And that here on the Traction AP replay, you can see the defensive line is not going to get pushed back. They bring the backers over, and they fill that gap perfectly. They had two linebackers fill the gap that Braden Steely was looking to run.
3rd and goal, first possession of the game for Carroll. And it's Steely again off the right side, looking for an angle. He didn't get there.
Wow.
Stopped at the 1.
Coming up hard for Hamilton Southeastern that time was the cornerback, number 1, Peyton Daniels. You know, Steely, he smelled 6, and he opted to cut it up. Looked like maybe he needed to take it wide on that one. There you go, Steely out of the diamond formation, and what a tackle there by the cornerback, that he is not scared to stick his nose in it.
4th and goal, Chargers going for it. It's Steely again, trying the middle, lunges his way. Touchdown! Braden Steely, 4th time's the charm.
Unbelievable, riding his offensive line, and the offensive line that started off this game amazingly comes through for the junior running back.
First play from scrimmage was a deep pass to Jaden Hill, and then Braden Steely. 4 times trying to punch it in. He finally does on 4th and goal.
I mean, that's just a matter of will right there for that offensive line. And Lopez, PAT, is up, and it's in. Holy cow, what a way to start this game.
Great drive by the Carroll Chargers. They lead it 7-0. And just think about how the way this drive started with that deep pass. Obviously, Sullivan had all kinds of time, great protection, and then nothing's easy down near the goal line, but Braden Steely and that offensive line able to get it done.
Yeah, Thad, I hate to beat a dead horse here, but who would have thought it on the first play of the game they go empty backfield? I was shocked up here. And look at Hill. That right there, that is Jimmy Sullivan throwing that ball to a pocket in the field, and Hill had to react to it and makes the snag. Remember, Jaden Hill last week was Jimmy's go-to guy in that game against Lafayette Jeff, the Broncos.
Sebastian Lopez will set up the kickoff at the 40-yard line.
Unbelievable, Thad. You know, Carroll wanted the ball to start this game. Coach Dinan had a trick under his sleeve, and he has ultimate confidence in his sophomore quarterback and this Carroll offense. So Alexander back deep for HSE.
It's taken from the goal line.
Yeah.
And a touchback.
Yeah, and that's just what Sebastian Lopez does. Last year he was a junior all-stater in 6A, first-team all-conference this year. That's his 55th touchback of the season. So it's almost automatic, even in these conditions, for the senior kicker, Sebastian Lopez.
Well, Ty Bradle, the senior quarterback, leads the Royals out onto the field, and, of course, he's got a plethora of running backs that he can lean on as well. Start out with 2 wide receivers, 1 to either side, and 2 tight ends as well.
Yeah, and they're going to take their tight end and their wing right there. Their 2 primary backers moving to the right.
Start off with the run play, Jalen Alexander, and he's going to be dropped. Lost a couple on the play.
Wow, what a great job by the outside backers there for Carroll. You want to talk about following up a strong performance on offense. Now we got the hurry-up offense.
A little jet sweep off the right side, and that's going to get out to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like that was number 28. Clayton Wilkie. Yeah.
3rd down and 5 coming up for the Royals. They'll go to the ground up the middle with Alexander, and Alexander did not get there. The Chargers keep him short for now.
My goodness, this Carroll defense following up a great performance. Let's take a look at that first play of this drive right here, Thad. You can see the 3 down linemen. They bring up 2 of their outside backers there, and they're able to stretch that play out for the tackle for a loss.
Hamilton Southeastern will punt. Back to receive for Carroll is Hanson Hafner.
Yeah, 2 guys back there along with, I think that's Steely.
Carroll gets a little bit of pressure, some trouble with the snap. And Hafner and Steely will let that one roll all the way down inside the 20. Well, field position isn't quite what the Chargers would have wanted, but they are able to preserve the possession.
Yeah, and that was Braden Totten, the sophomore punter for Hamilton Southeastern. I mean, this kid's an absolute athlete. You know, when you go into a season and you don't actually have a punter and they just go to some athlete that can do everything on the field? Well, that's Totten. That was his 30th punt on the season. He averages 34 yards per punt with 5 inside the 20. That he's also got 3 punt returns on the season.
It's incredible. 1st and 10 as Sullivan again operates with an empty backfield. Goes right down the seam, and it's incomplete.
Wow.
He was looking for number 11, Gabe Starks, the senior.
Yeah, the older brother to Nate Starks, and absolutely, Thad. Laying out for it right there was Starks, but first play from scrimmage here on the second drive, and they go straight to the air.
Now they're going to get a little help in that backfield. And to the ground go the Chargers with Starks. Nate Starks, that is. He's out across the 20.
Yeah, often referred to as a Darren Sproles type back. I mean, Nate Starks is very shifty out there. 1,123 yards rushing on the season with 7 touchdowns, averages 6.4.
Got about 3, maybe 4 on that last carry, so a decent gain, but it brings up 3rd and long. Sullivan to throw, a little pressure to the sideline, and it's complete to Hafner, and forward progress will give him the first down across the 30.
Yeah, great job there just picking apart the defense. They were in man coverage there with a single safety up top. That we'll take another look at it here on the Traction AP replay as Carroll's hurrying up to the offensive line. Check out Sullivan there on the hook. Just a timing pattern, a great job of finding Hafner.
They mark the ball at the 32-yard line. Back to the ground, Starks looking for a hole, but there's not much there. A whole host of tacklers, including, I believe, David Neese in on that one. Second carry so far for Starks. This Royals rush defense so far has been up to the task.
Yeah, they got 2 down linemen.
Starks bouncing to the outside, a change in direction, and again, Hamilton's all over that.
Boy, Hamilton Southeastern, just a host of tacklers in on that one, led by number 54 for the Royals, and that is Jack Seifert. And we got a man down.
Well, the trainers will come out and take a look at him. Looks like it's one of the Charger players.
We'll take another look at it here on the Traction AP replay, Thad. You see the 2 defensive tackles do well to get off the offensive lineman and nowhere to go as Seifert this trailing on the play right there. You see how fast those big boys are. Seifert goes 235 pounds. Burgett 245 and Sherrill at 220. But those guys can also move well.
Well, meanwhile, the trainers still taking a look at the injured player. And we're going to be back for an injury timeout. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, we've been told that Nate Starks is the player who was down, and yeah, that is Starks, and looks like he might be all right. He's firing up the crowd.
Yeah, Nate Starks walking off the field here, and he's got the crowd kind of hype on this one. How about Sullivan so far? 2 for 3 with 79 yards passing under his belt. Outstanding. And we had the 15-yard kickoff return there by Steely.
This is going to be 3rd and 14 for the Chargers.
This snow is really starting to cover the field.
It's starting to look like winter. It may not technically be winter, but it sure looks like it. As Sullivan back to throw. Buys some time. Is he going to take off? Spins away from one man, but goes down short of the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so they're going to have to punt it right there. And Hamilton Southeastern came out in a cover 2 look, Thad, so they were not going to make it easy or have it be easy for Carroll to throw this ball. We'll take another look at it here on the Traction AP replay as Sullivan, as we just stated, 2 of 3. But you see the 2 safeties back, and they go back even further. He was looking for that play in the middle of the field, just nowhere to go. Opted to run for himself, and, yeah, just came up a bit short.
We've got another player down, it looks like.
That's
probably for Carroll again.
No, that's a Royal.
Trying to get an idea who the player might be, but during this injury timeout, we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football, a journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, still trying to figure out who the injured player is. The Hamilton Southeastern staff, headed by Dr. Maris Schraders, team physician Maris Schraders, still out there tending to him. We've seen Gabe Starks go down. Luckily, he looked to be okay as he walked to the sideline and fired up the crowd. You know, with all the snow we've got, the conditions could get very tough to play in as we go on.
Yeah, and once again, you got to believe that favors the team that can run the ball a little bit, I hate to say even better, because when Braden Steely is your running back, you can literally compete with anybody in the state. But, yeah, Thad, in that Carroll defense, the way they came out to start this game, I believe Hamilton Southeastern picked up about 6 yards on 3 plays. Actually, it was 7 yards before they had to have their first punt.
Well, Dom Dempsey getting some extra warm-up time, if you will, over there on the sidelines. Of course, he's the punter for Carroll, and obviously that's a little bit different than warming up for field goals.
Yeah.
You know, field goals are going to be, if we get to that point, it's going to be tough in this wind and snow that we got.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different start times throughout the state. You look at Indianapolis Lutheran at North Decatur, that's a 7 p.m. start time. Bishop Chatard at West Lafayette, that's a 7 p.m. start. Roncalli at East Central, Center Grove at Cathedral, and then, of course, our game right here, all 7 o'clock starts. The next games are 7:30 starts, so they're going to be starting up in about 10 minutes, Thad. That's Adams Central at North Judson, St. Pierre, Linton Stockton at Evansville, Mater Dei, Monrovia at Lawrenceburg, New Prairie at Kokomo. Boy, Kokomo, they got a 220-pound quarterback. Man, they looked really good. They are a big squad against Columbia City last week. Valparaiso at Snyder. And then we have 2 8 p.m. starts. Bishop Luers traveling out to Maryville to take on Andrean, and Whiteland at Castle.
You know, Kokomo, they played Leo in the season opener this year, and if Jason Dorfler was looking for a tough team to open the season against in the non-conference schedule, I think it's safe to say he got one.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Leo actually did have a very good season this year, 7-4 overall in Dorfler's first year as the Lions head coach, former Northrop head coach, and it looks like do they have a stretcher out there?
They do. They got paramedics out, and we're still not sure who's down, but I think we can take one more break here, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Hamilton Southeastern sideline and both teams here. Is an exciting start to this game, and you hate to see somebody go down.
You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
Fans. And then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here. Here.
Here.
I belong here.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
In 4 years, this could be you.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts.
You belong here!
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better everyday after. It's the first day in your new career, your first pay raise, the 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family, or the day of your last car loan payment, much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree, we care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Toolshed, strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Well, an ambulance has come out onto the field, and Jeff, you pointed out during the break that it looked like the injured player was Evan Sherrill, one of the top pass rushers for this Royal team, who's now going to be headed off to the hospital.
Yeah, it was. It was his right knee. Entering today, Thad, when I got a chance to email Mike Kelly, it was kind of questionable whether or not he was going to be able to play. And actually it happened, obviously, on that last play there. But he was rushing, going up against the right tackle, Caden Abbs, and you could see his right knee just kind of buckle a little bit and went down. So obviously I believe he's going to be done for this game, and that's a huge hit. Sherrill just absolutely awesome for the Royals this year. Entering today, 48 tackles, 16.5 tackles for a loss, 9 sacks, 2 QB hurries, 2 fumble recoveries, and a forced fumble. So they're going to have to bring out Stuart Stovall, number 93, the senior at 6'4", 220. I mean, he's no slouch. 11 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 sack, and a pass defended entering today. But, man, Carroll, luckily enough, they all got coats on the sideline. Hamilton Southeastern, a lot of the guys have just been standing there as Carroll's going to come over and just kind of huddle around as they're getting ready to put Sherrill, and I believe it was Sherrill, it was the left defensive end for the Royals. And both teams just going to huddle around. As Thad, you hate to see it, especially a game of this magnitude. Hamilton Southeastern with 4 semi-state championships under their belt, 79, 81, 1997, and 2005. They were the state champions in 1981. That was a Class 1A 7-6 win over Woodland. Obviously, Carroll winning their first regional ever last week, that they're looking for their first trip to the state championship game.
Well, it looks like they're going to get Sherrill into the ambulance. Both teams out there, presumably to check on him and perhaps even wish him the best as he's about to be headed off to the hospital. There is 6:10 left on the clock, and Carroll will be punting as soon as the field is cleared. And, you know, the big concern here is we've already seen 2 players go down. Luckily, Gabe Starks was able to get back up, so hopefully
Nate
he's all right.
Starks.
And Nate Starks, you're right. He was able to get back up. Hopefully he's able to finish out this game. But obviously with the snow we've got, there's definitely some slippery field conditions. I mean, it's different challenges compared to what you have on a grass field in this kind of conditions, but still, there's the challenge of dealing with the weather and the snow, and not the most favorable playing conditions.
No, I mean, the snow is really coming down. It's almost a whiteout from up here. I guess you really can't see it that well on the screen. At least I can't on this small screen. You might be if you're sitting at home in that warm family room on an 80-inch TV, but that I would much rather be here at the beautiful Gorsuch Athletic Complex. Year number 2 of this brand-new stadium, and I got to say it was worth the wait. This is one of the finest football complexes in the state of Indiana.
I do remember reaching out to Doug Dinan about the time that that project was getting underway. He had all kinds of good words to say for the Northwest Allen County Schools administration, the Carroll High School administration, and how they've been so fiscally responsible in getting the funds together to make sure that they can afford a stadium like this. And obviously it's turned out to be a great facility.
Yeah, and they even revamped the soccer field, which is just east of us. All the fans at home, we are facing east here at the football field, but we got the soccer field just beyond the stands, and the baseball field and the softball field. So, yeah, athletic director Dan Ginder has done such a great job here at Carroll, really kind of spearheading a lot of these efforts, as well as getting their digital media program started.
Well, you're talking about the snow on the field earlier, Jeff. Over here on the left side of the field, it looks there's a little more green showing from the field, but if you were to look at the right side of the field from where we're sitting, that spot is, I dare say, half covered.
Yeah, and a lot of the action has been on the left side of the field. That is the north end, as Coach Dinan's telling the guys, hey, run down the end zone, keep yourself warmed up here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The Royals over here to our right, working from the sideline to the hash mark, just getting some high knees in. And, you know, you've been standing around now for, what's it been, about 10 minutes, waiting for the ambulance to come out. And once again, I believe that was Evan Sherrill, the defensive end, number 48, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Hamilton Southeastern community, of course, him and his family. You never want to see it, but obviously it's a part of the game, Thad.
Yeah, the ambulance has driven off the field, likely headed to the hospital with Evan Sherrill. We wish him our best. They'll get another 5 minutes to warm up.
Yeah, and it looks like we got a score update as Chittard is up 7-0 against West Lafayette.
Bishop Chittard, a very good program. They obviously, some folks from the Fort Wayne area probably recognize Bishop Chittard in the back-to-back years where they beat Concordia in regionals.
But yeah, Thad, once again, this game, you know, it started off the very first play from scrimmage. You can see the ball at the 29-yard line. Okay, so this is a 69-yard reception to Jaden Hill as he gets tracked down from behind there. Now, Hill, it looks like if he never slows up and maybe lunges for the pylon, may have got that one, Thad. And then it was Braden Steely just right in the back of his offensive lineman here. Braden out of the Wildcat. You can see the lead blocking. And one of those lead blockers there was number 1, Jorge Valdez. Him and Braden Steely are tight on this team. Valdez is a senior defensive back, 6 foot 190. That his interception last week, diving forward. I mean, when that ball was thrown, he was about 15 yards off the mark. Beelined it to where the wide receiver was. He read the eyes of the quarterback all the way and dove and intercepted that ball to ice the game for Carroll. You know, Hamilton Southeastern, they have had the ball once in this matchup, and what a great job of flowing to the ball, especially by the outside linebackers here. Look at that play by the defensive end, getting off the block and getting the running back in the backfield. I believe that was Royce Jones there for Carroll, number 99 at 6'1", 190 pounds. That you mentioned earlier, 38 tackles, 18 tackles for a loss, and 9 sacks on the season.
Yeah, Royce Jones and Ashton Pisetsky, both very good pass rushers. In the meantime, we're going to be right back in a matter of moments. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
Fans. And then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Well, Carroll is out there ready to punt the ball away. Back to punt is Dominic Dempsey, and he and the Chargers both took quite a bit of time to warm up, as did the Royals of Hamilton Southeastern. 6:10 on the clock here in this first quarter.
And it looks like that's Clayton Wilkie, the senior, number 28, 5'7", 170, back in punt return for the Royals.
He gets it away, angles it. Didn't angle it much. It's going to be down right at the 42-yard line, and I believe that was Graham Wiedenhofer there to down it for Carroll.
And great coverage there by Joseph Nuttall for Carroll, number 20, 5'9", 150, just a junior defensive back. I mean, Nuttall's a heck of a player. He's got 11 tackles and 1 PBU, 1 pass breakup on the season. But Thad, he could have received that ball. He got down there so fast.
Well, Hamilton will start this drive with excellent field position at their own 42-yard line. Ty Bradle out of the shotgun. They run the pistol set. A little screen to the far side of the field. I believe that's Evan Savage. And down the sideline he goes inside the 25.
Outstanding play right there, and that's what this team likes to do, those RPOs, those read pass options, and that was Clayton Wilkie.
Yeah, you're right, it was. Number 28, the wide receiver. By the way, do have an update from high school basketball, but we'll get that to you probably after this next play as the Royals go hurry up. Bradle will hand this one off as Alexander runs head on to the teeth of that Charger defense. And that update, by the way, is from Wayne versus Southside girls basketball. Wayne is the winner. Second win of the season for Laisha Gorman's Wayne Generals.
Nice tackle there by Braden Steely coming up from his safety position. It's a gain of about 4 yards.
2nd down and 7. Bradle goes out of the shotgun. He'll look to throw here on 1st down. Goes to the sideline. Oh, are you kidding me? Incomplete. Great effort along the sideline, and it looks like he's down.
Yeah, another player down, and you hate to see it. I think that was Donovan Hamilton, and he's their absolute playmaker. But, man, he almost makes a one-handed stab right here, Thad. Check this play out. Throws up the right hand. He nearly caught that one.
That was so close. And that's good sportsmanship by Michael Dirkman as he calls for the trainers to take a look at him. Take a look at Hamilton. Well, this has become a theme, unfortunately, as players going down. Luckily, Nate Starks did get up.
It's tough, though. You spend about 10 minutes there just standing in the cold. They did put 5 minutes on the scoreboard to kind of warm the guys up. Oh, my gosh. You really hope that was not Donovan Hamilton, who's pretty much their top wide receiver target, an absolute playmaker, averages 62.8 yards receiving a game. Ball State is looking at him hard because he goes 6'4", 190. Oh, jeez.
He is the leading overall receiver on this team, 753 yards, on the season, plus 9 touchdowns. My apologies there. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Tool Shed. Strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
This is 3rd and 7. Donovan Hamilton looked like he was able to get up after that last play.
Yeah, Thad, he was able to walk off the field. Looked good.
They go with a little jet sweep off the left side. And I think that was actually Bradle keeping the football.
No, that was Wilkie on the jet
right.
sweep. And what a tackle there by Braden Steely. Steely flying across the field here. We'll take a look at it on the Traction AP replay. It's going to bring up 4th down. But look at Steely busting through the blockers with a big hit on the sideline. Wow.
4th and 7. Hamilton will forego a field goal, which would be 40 yards, but in these windy conditions, no guarantee. And now whistles blow. A timeout is taken by Hamilton. Mike Kelly wanting to talk this over a little bit. And perhaps we'll see if he just wanted to look at the defense there and then maybe get in a new play call. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll take you back to the near catch here by Donovan Hamilton. Once again, throwing up the right hand. You see Jorge Valdez does good to disrupt that. And honestly, Thad, after looking at it, looks like it was probably the helmet hitting the turf right there, as it's so cold here in Fort Wayne. That might have had Hamilton on the ground, but you love to see it. he was able to get up and walk off back to the sideline on his own, and hopefully we get to see number 1 back in this game for the Royals.
Well, here is 4th and 7 again for the Royals. Neon Nation on their feet. Brado looks to the sideline. Might be getting an audible here. Down to 7 on the play clock, and Brado will look to throw. Comes near side, and that's dropped. Wow. It is dropped and incomplete.
In and out of the hands of number 13,
John McCoy.
McCoy, a senior, on the play, and I'll tell you what, I thought it was going to be tough sledding for Hamilton Southeastern to pass it here, as Carroll had 2 safeties back. Actually, they pulled one of their cornerbacks back to safety, but you can see here right on the bottom of your screen, finding that open pocket was McCoy. Just couldn't come up with the grab. It's so cold out here, it is going to be tough to receive that ball.
Chargers will start with Braden Steely in the backfield, and he will get the call off the near side, and Steely powers ahead to get across the 25.
And that's what Braden Steely does, taking it to the 27-yard line. I'm telling you that. It's just a matter of time before he pops up on the 247 Sports top players in the class of 2024.
Steely has played both offense and defense in his career at Carroll, and on the defensive side, I believe he's been both a defensive back and a linebacker. As 3 receivers go in motion to the top of your screen.
Yeah, doing a great job of reading the block there of Jaden Barklow, the offensive lineman.
Steely again. This time he runs into a wall.
Yeah, nowhere to go for Steely as that defensive line was able to hold strong. You know, looking down on the field, you do have number 5, Dominic Burgett, and now Stuart Stovall is in this game at that left defensive end position. Of course, it was Evan Sherrill last time out in the last offensive possession for Carroll that went down with that leg injury.
This is 3rd and 4, a manageable 3rd down situation for the Chargers. Need to get to the 32-yard line to move the chains.
Early wind, the single safety back deep.
Sullivan rolls and throws complete for the first down, and that's Hill. At the 38-yard line, Hill with his 2nd catch of the game.
Jaden Hill, absolutely awesome, settling in the pocket there. Check this out, Thad, on the Traction AP replay. Jaden Hill found the opening in that zone, and Jimmy Sullivan is right on target. One of the best arms you're going to see in the state of Indiana. Got right in front of the defender, knew where the yard marker was, and got the first down for the Chargers.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. Hirschberger, the closest of those receivers, and back to the ground they go. That's Steely off the left side, and he runs into some tacklers to get 5 yards.
Yeah, Steely, he's big and strong, but he's got that burst, as you can see right there. That's a gain of 5 yards, and getting it around the left side. I'll tell you what, man, those runs right there, if you can get 4 or 5 yards a pop, it's just a matter of time before you can break one. Actually, Jalen Alexander did that for the Royals last week, but check out Braden Steely there, right inside his offensive lineman for a pickup of 5.
Less than 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Chargers with a 2nd and 5 at their own 44. Little toss play to Steely, trying to get the angle. He'll get positive yardage out of this. He's wrestled out of bounds, close to the first down.
Yeah, and that's a flag on the play. Looks like that might have been Hill from the right tight end position. Unfortunate. Steely's got the speed to get that edge, Thad. That's exactly what he did on his big touchdown a week ago. But let's see who they're going to call. It's right on the right side of the offensive line. Yeah, hard to see right there, but 10-yard penalty, and they're going to repeat the down. So that's going to bring up about 2nd and 15, Thad. 2nd and 17, they're actually saying.
Yeah, they're marking off from the spot of the foul, which was the 42-yard line. So put it back to the 32-yard line. We've seen plenty of big play capability from Carroll. Obviously, 2nd and 17 is no easy task, but they can definitely get some chunk plays.
Yeah, and with the arm of Jimmy Sullivan, it looks like the snow is starting to let up a little bit, but Sullivan can really zip that ball. I mean, the strength of that right arm by Jimmy Sullivan as a sophomore is unprecedented.
2nd and 17, Steely the lone back here on 2nd and long. It'll be Sullivan to throw. He goes underneath and complete to Hafner. He's wrestled down at about the original line of scrimmage. That's close to the 39-yard line.
Quick hitting play. You know, that's exactly what Hamilton Southeastern also likes to do with Ty Bradle. But a good completion, unfortunately, for Carroll. A gain of only about 3 yards. No, it looks like they pick up 7, so loss of forward progress, and they're going to spot the ball at their own 39-yard line.
3rd down and 10 as the Chargers motion guys to the far side of the field. I believe that's Jorge Valdez lining up in the slot near side. Empty backfield for Carroll. Sullivan to throw. Going to go deep downfield. It is almost intercepted, and then it looked like Gabe Starks had a chance at that one. The ball, I think, hit him in the back of the foot.
Right through the hands of Mason Alexander, who last week had the big interception against Westfield. Alexander read that one perfect and jumped the route. We'll see it one more time on the Traction AP replay. I mean, Jimmy's going for it right there. Had his man, but you see Alexander jump right out in front. Wow, that could have been a costly play there for Carroll.
Dominic Dempsey to punt. Fair catch signaled, and that could be kick-catch interference.
Yeah.
No flag down. Are they saying it's a fumble?
If
Carroll football. And is that going to be a touchdown?
Oh, my.
It's either a touchdown or down at the spot of the recovery.
I don't think there was a fair catch call. And you're right. Number 21 was definitely right inside. That's William Jeffries, the sophomore, was right inside that halo. What is it, 1 or 2 yards?
I believe it's 1 yard, if I'm not mistaken. And here comes the flag.
And, yeah, there's a flag. You see, that's almost face guarding right there. And Dempsey, boy, that was a good-looking punt. He punted that thing sky high, Thad. That was as high as these brand-new lights here at Gorsuch.
The officials sorting this out. We're going to get the official announcement, and yet it is going to be kick-catch interference against Carroll.
Yeah, and once again, hats off to this punt team by Carroll. This is the second straight punt by the Chargers where they're able to get their men downfield before that ball even drops. We saw it with Joseph Nuttall on the first punt, and on that one right there, it was the good sophomore Jeffries.
So again, Hamilton Southeastern with good field position. And this time they go straight up the middle with Alexander. They fake the jet sweep that time. And they get 6, maybe 5 yards out of that play. That's probably going to be the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Jalen Alexander just riding his big offensive lineman there. And expect HSE to do a lot of that with their head coach, Mike Kelly.
And the clock is going to run out. That is the end of the first quarter. So we'll be back for the second quarter. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, we're back, start of the second quarter, and I believe we've got some stats for the game as Hamilton lines up on this 2nd and 5. And it's Alexander right up the middle, and he is dropped in the backfield, and that might have been Steely. I'm not sure.
No, that was the linebacker there for Carroll.
Might have been Justin Anderson, number 6.
No, I believe it was Cam Lentz, number 42, shooting the gap.
3rd down and 4 coming up for Hamilton as Bradle looks to the sideline.
Yeah, right now you got Max Wired, 2nd team all-conference, and Cam Lentz are your 2 middle linebackers for the Chargers.
It is Alexander, and he's met for no gain. Actually a gain of 1, but that's well short of the 1st down.
Yeah, and that time it was Cam Lentz again who's come to play for Carroll. Thad, how about this defense?
The Carroll defense coming up with a big 4th down situation here, and it looks like Hamilton is going to punt. Carter Gutt to punt it away for the Royals. They get some pressure, but he gets it away.
And that was actually Braden Totten with the punt, and nowhere to go for the return man, Braden Steely.
He's down right at the 20-yard line, and Carroll will take the field, leading 7-0. Chargers have put together some good drives in this game, but again, the defense with back-to-back big-time stops, that time with Hamilton moving the ball toward Carroll territory.
Yeah, here's Cam Lentz on 2nd down and 4, getting in the backfield there, stopping the Royal running back, Jalen Alexander, for a no gain, and then he comes up big again on 3rd down.
Chargers going to empty the backfield here on 1st down as Sullivan will now go a different direction as, of course, they change sides in the 2nd quarter, and that looks like a false start.
Yeah, Thad, and actually in this situation, now the wind is actually blowing out to the east. It's actually the northeast, so Carroll right now has the wind at their back.
And I believe that was Cooper Rudolph who got a little bit jittery, the wide receiver number 19, who will likely see him on the basketball court fairly soon under head coach Ryan Abbott.
Now, in these wind conditions, Thad, the Carroll wide receivers will do well to know that that ball will push towards the Hamilton Southeastern sideline.
Single back set, pistol set, in fact, for Carroll this time. Sullivan fakes it, flushed out of the pocket. He's tripped up, and down he goes, back at the 5.
Outstanding job. That time it was the brand new defensive end, Stuart Stovall. Hamilton Southeastern, they brought blitz from the left side, and it paid off for Coach Kelly and the Royals. Check it out, Thad. Now that's Stovall up there at that left defensive end position. He's able to get around the right tackle and come up with a huge sack. Sullivan normally gets out of those situations, but the turf is a little bit slick.
This is 2nd down and 26. Sullivan will hand this one off the left side. I believe that's Steely with the carry up near the 10.
Yeah, Steely did a great job right there, shooting in for Hamilton Southeastern was number 49, Griffin Haas. Haas with 93 tackles on the season leads Southeastern. Haas just blew that play up.
So the Chargers kind of get out of the shadow of their own end zone, but still a long way to go for the 1st down. I should say they get further away from their own end zone. As Sullivan looks to throw. It's running out of time, and is that going to be a safety?
No.
Ball came out, I think. It's looking like the Chargers got it back. They did at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, coming up with the recovery there. I believe that was number 54 there, offensive lineman Barcalow. But, man, that could have been disaster. A safety right there would have given Hamilton Southeastern 2 points and the ball. But now Carroll in a tough situation as they're going to have to punt it from the back of their own end zone.
Clayton Wilkie standing at his at the Chargers, 38 rather. He backpedals off of this punt, and he might let this go, but it does take quite the bounce for the Chargers.
Absolutely, Thad. That's exactly what you want to see as getting down there for the Chargers. I believe that was Weidenhofer, Graham Weidenhofer at 6'2", 180, downing that ball at the Hamilton Southeastern 49. So holy cow, that's a punt of about 51 yards.
Well, if Hamilton Southeastern was looking to reverse the field position, they seem to have done that. They got the ball up to the 45-yard line last time around, and now they start this drive from the 49. And it's right up the middle with Alexander, and he got maybe a yard, if that.
Yeah, that time it was Max Wired with the big hit. Man, this Carroll defense, Thad, we knew they were good. They're the number 9 ranked defense in the state entering today. But this play right here against these Royals, I mean, they have been rock solid to start this game. Look at Wired. Boom.
2nd and 10 from the 49. And they fake the jet sweep as Alexander pounds his way to the 46-yard line and into Carroll territory.
And that's what HSE wants to do. They're just going to keep coming at you with the running back there. That time it was Braden Steely coming up to lower the boom. Jalen Alexander, a nice gain right there. And eventually, Thad, he's going to slip one of those tackles and take it for a large distance.
3rd and 4 coming up for the Royals. And again, they fake the jet sweep, and Alexander going to be close to the first down. Carroll thinks they've stopped him, and it looks
short.
like they have.
He's well short right there. And once again, it's Steely. Steely might have 20 tackles in this game as he keeps coming up from that safety position. You can see the Carroll safeties are starting to cheat towards the line of the scrimmage at the snap there in run support, lowering his head. And actually, I believe that was Jorge Valdez that came up and made that tackle.
4th and 1, and it looks like Hamilton is keeping the offense out on the field. They are indeed. You could guess as to who the football's going to go to here. And keeping it is Bradle for a first down and more. Bradle down the sideline. Can they catch him? Inside the 5. 1st and goal for the Royals.
Wow, and Jorge Valdez doing a great job of tracking that one down. Nearly came up with the strip. But are you kidding me with Ty Bradle right there? He shocked everybody here at the Gorsuch Athletic Complex. Check out Bradle. Now they're going to show jet sweep. He fakes off the handoff. Everybody's coming up in run support because Alexander had run the previous 3 plays, and Bradle's showing you the athleticism, getting down the sideline, taking it to the 1. Holy cow, Thad.
That's the reason I said you could guess as to who the ball's going to. But the play clock's down at 2.
Yeah.
And Mike Kelly's going to call a timeout. Oh, wait a second. They've reset the play clock. Perhaps that was, officials didn't notice it at first. Direct snap, I believe, and up the middle for the touchdown.
Yeah, Wildcat touchdown right there. I believe that was Jalen Alexander.
Well, both touchdowns of the rushing variety so far.
That was not that. That was number 48. That was number 48. No, that's Cheryl. We're going to have to look at that one more time here on the Traction AP replay.
There's a replay there of Bradle going down the sideline. High snap on the extra point, but the kick is no good. Wide left. Off the foot of Carter Gutt.
All right, we're going to check this one out, Thad. We can try to see what's going on here. Obviously, it's a Wildcat. I think that's number 49. That's their big back right there.
49 is Griffin Haas.
Griffin Haas, their middle backer, so that would make some sense if they gave it to the big dog right there. I mean, Haas goes 6 foot, 210, their leading tackler. Dad, we're going to play it one more time, see if we can get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, that's number 49. That's Haas. Run, big man, run.
Took some contact from Braden Steely and Max Wired, but was able to plow right through that. And with 6:33 to go, we got a 1-point game. Carroll up by an extra point.
Yeah, Thad, and actually Snyder scored on a 40-yard touchdown, so they're up 7-0 against Valpo. Last time we checked, it was Center Grove, folks. Center Grove's up 17-0 against Cathedral. Holy moly. Yeah, looking at Haas, he's got 5 carries for 13 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season, so I think that was Haas.
Hugo Belmonte on to kick the kickoff for the Royals. He angles that one to the left side. It's going to be picked up. That's Steely. And out across the 25-yard line.
That was actually number 1, Jorge Valdez, who takes it over the 25. Valdez, who saved that touchdown on the big run by Ty Bradle. But yeah, play later. It's the big middle linebacker taking it in for the Royals. How about Griffin Haas on that one?
Griffin Haas, the 1-yard touchdown run. Both touchdowns in this game have been from a yard out. One for Haas and one for Braden Steely back in the first quarter. Steely will continue to stay in the game at running back. Now, Nate Starks, he did go down with an injury, but he got up and was pumping the crowd as he did so, yet we have not seen him back in the game since that first quarter. It will be Steely looking to take it wide, turns it upfield, but nowhere to go. That Hamilton defense all over him.
Yeah, good pursuit by the Royals, and in these conditions, Thad, going to be really hard to cut it back against the grain for any of the running backs in this game. You're going to be better off trying to get it north and south, but Steely's really not had a problem hitting that edge.
2nd down and 8, empty backfield this time for Carroll. Sullivan looks to throw, quick hitter, that's complete. I believe that was Hirschberger.
That was Cam Hirschberger, and the Royals were all over it, but a nice gain as they were able to pick up about 4 yards.
And I believe that's Cam Hirschberger's first catch of this game, and he is the leading receiver for Carroll coming into this season.
Yeah, mostly it's been Jaden Hill with 2 receptions and Hanson Hafner with a catch.
And I believe that was Doug Dinan saying, "Let's go, boys."
Wasn't me.
Sullivan to throw, pumps, floats it to the sideline, looking for Hirschberger, well overthrown, and there in coverage was Donovan Rhodes, I believe.
Yeah, we had some miscommunication right there as Hirschberger looked back over to Sullivan. We'll take another look at it on the Traction AP. And by the way, that 23-10, Center Grove over Cathedral. You can see him there with the pumped fake. Oh, he's calling for PI. He wants pass interference on number 23, Donovan Rhodes there, and did not get it.
The Chargers will punt. It's become a bit of a defensive struggle lately in this one. That takes a good Charger bounce all the way down inside the 20 and still rolling. And right now the Chargers are gathering around each other saying, "Let that thing go."
Yeah, they're doing the whole fan to it, trying to get some extra push on it. It's not going to roll as well here with the cold conditions and the snow on the turf.
It's like when you're putting and you see the ball roll towards the hole, you wave it towards the hole. Go in, go in.
Yeah, normally I'm trying to push it back when I overshoot the hole by a couple yards. Andrean's up 7-0 over Bishop Lures right now, Thad.
That Bishop Lures team made it all the way to state 2 years ago after, I believe, just 2 regular season wins. Wilkie in motion. They give it to him on the jet sweep. And he's out across the 20. Looked like he got about 5.
Yeah, hats off to this Carroll defense. Pazetsky right there along with Jorge Valdez. Valdez is having one heck of a game here for the Chargers. That Valdez, who was first team all-conference, enters today with 4 interceptions.
Alexander up the middle for a couple. Make that about 3, perhaps.
Yeah, Ashton Pazetsky once again with the tackle. 79 tackles on the season. That's the most for Carroll.
Pazetsky, one of the top pass rushers for this Charger defense. And do we have another player down? I think we do.
We do, Thad.
For Hamilton Southeastern. Well, with that, we'll take an injury timeout. You are watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau's Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Tool Shed. Strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
That was Jalen Alexander, I do believe, who was helped off the field. And second leading rusher for Hamilton is A.Z. Wallace, and I do believe that's him who gets the carry. Wallace close to the first down.
Yeah, that was Wallace, Thad. Just a sophomore for Coach Kelly. 5'11", 198 pounds. Entering today, second on the team with 108 carries.
He gives you 39.7 yards per game. He just gave Hamilton a first down that time. Wallace will remain in the backfield on 1st and 10. So we're inside 4 minutes to play in this first half. It's Wallace again, and this time he is swallowed up.
Yeah, Wired was there first, and it looks like number 42 for Carroll also in on the stop.
Cam Lentz, the inside linebacker.
I'll tell you, A.Z. Wallace, his name is Azariah. They said they call him A.Z. I said, I like Azariah.
He'll get the call off the left hip of Bradle, and he goes hurtling, tumbling over the tackler.
Yeah, once again, Braden Steely just sticking his nose in there. These safeties have been absolutely outstanding for Carroll all season long, and in particularly in this game. Look at Steely.
3rd and 6 coming up for the Royals. Rolling to the left is Bradle. Throws out in the flat, and it's almost intercepted.
Outstanding play there by Carson Vogt, the cornerback, breaking that play up. And I believe that was Vogt. Number 26, the starting corner.
Yep, there was the announcement. It was Vogt.
Yes, sir, it was. Just check it out on the Traction AP replay. Vogt staying with his man.
Hanson Hafner is one of the men back deep for the Chargers. 2:40 to go. And Carroll with some good pressure, and they blocked the punt. Recovered at the 15-yard line. Was that Steely who blocked it?
No, that was Michael Dirkman, number 15.
What a play, Michael Dirkman.
huge play for the Chargers as they're going to have great field position.
Well, you're looking at the clock. It's got 2:33 on it, and you're thinking Carroll's got a chance to score before halftime. They may score with time to spare.
Yeah, we'll have to take another look at that one on the Traction AP replay. Okay, we'll speed it up a little bit. Dirkman breaks right through the wall. That should absolutely never happen. And I think that was Valdez that scooped it up for the Chargers also.
Coming onto the field for Carroll is Will Jeffries. So they go with a little three-back wishbone type set. Sullivan will toss to Steely. He's looking to pass. Spins away from a tackle, and now he'll run, and he's got room. Off the side, touchdown.
Holy cow, Braden Steely.
Turns a broken play into 6.
Making magic happen here for the Chargers, Mr. Braden the Beast Steely.
That was looking like a halfback pass, and Steely couldn't find anybody open. He said, I got some room off my left side here.
He sure did, Thad. Braden Steely making it happen there out of that diamond formation.
Sebastian Lopez for the PAT. It's a line drive kick, and it's good.
Thad, check this one out again here for the Chargers. You can see Sullivan just pitches it to Steely, who is in that halfback position. Steely, are you kidding me? Look at the dance moves by number 5. Let's slow-mo this one, Thad. Braden Steely in the backfield. You're right. He's looking to throw right there. Good blocking. That was Abs and company. You see the little pirouette. And all game long, Steely's been able to get that edge and takes it in for 6.
And I believe that was Hanson Hafner throwing a block right at the goal line to help him out.
My. And that I don't want to be or sound like a broken record, but 2476 has to get Braden Steely on the watch list for the class of 2024. He's that good, Thad.
Junior running back and defensive back Braden Steely, who I believe was a linebacker a year ago. In fact,
no, he's been a safety. That was Tucker Steele who you're thinking about, who's at Trine now.
You're right. Tucker, a great player when he was here at Carroll. Angled kickoff. It will get close to the pylon. It did reach the end zone. It's a touchback.
Well, that's Sebastian Lopez, and that's all he does is kick touchbacks. That's his 56th touchback of the season. He's automatic, Thad.
Now, 2:23 on the clock. Hamilton Southeastern's got time to get down the field and perhaps find the end zone, maybe kick a field goal if they can get close enough. Also, I believe they only have one timeout remaining.
Boy, I'll tell you what a tough first half there. Hamilton Southeastern. Hamilton's out on the field, number 1. So their top wide receiver is out there after being out of the game for a second. But they are without their top running back, Jalen Alexander. They got AZ in there.
Snyder leading 7-0 at halftime now over Valparaiso. So the score hasn't changed much, but they are halfway through. And straight up the middle is AZ Wallace.
Yeah, and isn't that something, Thad? This game started a half an hour before the Snyder game.
Well, we've had the sad thing about it is we've had players go down due to injury, and unfortunately one of those injuries was very serious. Evan Sherrill getting carted off and loaded into an ambulance.
Well, you are right about that one, Thad.
Inside 2 minutes to play. Of course, we don't have the 2-minute warning at the high school level. That's just an NFL thing. As Wallace goes up the middle, another short carry.
Yeah, Pizetsky just catches him in the backfield. So the clock is ticking. And I'm telling you what, if you're Carroll right now, you might want to call a timeout, and they do, because you're going to get the ball back in really good field position.
When you got 1:42 and 2 timeouts left at this point, so that's a good timeout called by Coach Dinan.
Oh, that's an outstanding timeout. That and an outstanding play here by Pizetsky, number 23. Wallace nowhere to go. Let's run that one back real quick. Pisetsky coming from the right defensive end position, crashing down and making that tackle. This Carroll defense, now I thought it was going to be tough on this defense with the size of the offensive line. Carroll's offensive line averages 233 pounds. Hamilton Southeastern, they average 264 pounds, Thad. Their offensive line is as big as Northside, which is probably the biggest offensive line in the 260. That's Northeast Indiana.
Third and 5 coming up.
Cover
Rookie
2
in motion as Bradle looks to throw. Running out of time. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and he slides and appears to be short.
He does that. He slid down at the 29-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, and you have to punt the ball if you're Coach Kelly in this situation.
And it looks like Carroll might save their other timeouts. I see one fan saying that they need to call a timeout.
I don't disagree. You got 2 timeouts left.
Well, and just think, Hamilton Southeastern can run this all the way down inside 1 minute. But they're lined up to go for it. And it's a little Wildcat snap.
Yeah, that's...
Wallace has got it.
No, sir, that's Haas again. The big dog, the big middle linebacker, getting it done, picking up the 1st down. And that's why Coach Dinan didn't call that timeout there. He didn't want HSE to have a chance to think about it. And we were all fooled. They never went into punt.
Here's Bradle to throw. Protection breaks down a little bit, but the pass is caught, and that is a 1st down. And on the reception, I believe, is Donovan Hamilton.
Yeah, and you love to see it. Hamilton back in this game, making things happen for the Royals. What a catch and a 1st down pickup for number 1.
They restart the clock after the chains were reset. Bradle to throw again, rolling left and complete across his body and across midfield.
Yeah, Hamilton is an absolute playmaker here for Hamilton Southeastern. Definitely the go-to guy for Bradle. Thad, we'll take another look at it here on the Traction AP replay as Hamilton Southeastern takes their 2nd timeout, so they have 1 left. But Bradle, now he goes 6'4", so his catch radius is absolutely outstanding on that one. He just pauses, cuts towards the middle of the field, and you can tell that him and Bradle, that camaraderie that they have, they just know each other on the field so well right there, and picks up 8 yards. So it's going to be about 2nd and 2 here for the Royals.
Mark the ball at the 49-yard line. Royals do have a timeout left. They go from the pistol formation. Bradle will look to throw. He goes short and incomplete, and that one was nearly intercepted. And I believe that was Rogelio Sanchez.
Wow, well, Solomon Oduma came from behind and was able to break that pass up there for the Chargers. We'll take another look at it here on the Traction AP replay. But Oduma, outside backer, great coverage on the play. But nope, they're going to call pass interference, Thad. Maybe he was just a little bit too handsy.
19.3 seconds to go. Clock is stopped because of the penalty as the snow swirling in. Well, however this half ends could have a very interesting ending. More on that a little bit. As the Royals send a man in motion, Bradle wants to throw. Goes underneath and complete. Ball came out. It's ruled a catch. And I believe that was
Silas Newton.
No, Silas Newton. You're right. The junior.
Boy, Thad, that was like quadruple coverage, and Bradle just threaded the needle.
They're calling for the chains to be moved. They're saying that was a 1st down, but the chains had not yet moved. And it looks like Bradle's going to spike the ball here as soon as they reset the chains.
That was McCoy, number 13, that they had sent in motion, Thad, on that previous play. A great, great catch there by Silas Newton.
10.2 is going to be put on the clock.
Yeah, they had to add an extra 5/10.
Well, the ball is set. The chains are now set. And Bradle is ready to spike it. And there's the ready for play. There's the spike. So you're probably going to get either a shot to the end zone or a throw to the sideline to make it a shorter play before the end of the half.
Yeah, Bradle clocked it right there. And Donovan Hamilton's on the top of your screen, so you got to believe they're going to look for some kind of jump ball to Hamilton. We'll see if HSC, they're not going to take a timeout here, but you'd almost like to see them go in motion, maybe free up Hamilton, because now you got a safety, Valdez, over the top, and you got two defenders out there, one of those being Justin Anderson, who goes 6'2", 200 pounds. The lone wide receiver on the bottom of your screen is Silas Newton. So maybe they go that direction.
Snap to Bradle. They get some pressure. Bradle throws on the run. Bat in the air, and it's incomplete.
2.4 seconds remaining, so they got a shot at another one. Yeah, Thad, a lot of blue jerseys in that area. Now, on the bottom of your screen, you've got Gavin Vogt along with, you got Michael Dirkman along with Braden Steely. And Coach Kelly's going to call a timeout for Hamilton Southeastern. Either way you go, you got the cover 2 defense. So Carroll's not going to make it easy on them. You got to believe they're going to draw something up once again for the 6'4", 190-pound junior Donovan Hamilton.
Carroll leading 14-6 after a blocked punt that led to a Braden Steely touchdown run. Braden Steely's got 2 touchdowns in this game, but normally if it wasn't for the wind and the snow conditions, you would think Hamilton Southeastern could send out the field goal unit, make this a 5-point game, but with the way the wind and the snow are blowing around, I don't think they're even thinking about that.
Yeah, and that's a 41-yard field goal, so definitely no gimme. But when you look at Carter Gutt, he did hit a 32-yarder and a 27-yarder last week. He certainly can hit that kick.
Well, what will be probably the final play of the first half for Hamilton Southeastern as Bradle takes the snap. Pocket starts to break down. Bradle gets it away against the pressure toward the end zone. Is it caught? That's a touchdown. That is a touchdown.
Donovan Hamilton. They threw up the jump ball, and the big 6'4" receiver went up and got it. And remember, Thad, the Royals get the ball to start the second half. Wow.
And now you wonder if the Royals would go for 2 here, being down by 2 points. Obviously, it's a shorter kick if you kick the extra point.
Unbelievable.
Doesn't look like they're lined up to kick. Looks like they're going for it. Bradle takes the snap, rolls right, looks left, throws on the run wide open, and he dropped it.
Yeah, right through the hands of Jack Osecki. Thad Osecki is one of those unsung heroes for Hamilton Southeastern. He does such a great job of blocking from that wingback position. But I'm telling you, it's cold. It's slick. It just went through his hands. You hate to see it for the young man.
Well, we are at halftime, and Carroll holding a 14-12 lead over Hamilton Southeastern. Be back in a matter of moments. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
A 4-60-second timeout.
Fans. And then diehard.
Oh, shoot.
There are fans, and then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here. Here.
Here.
I belong here.
You're good at making big announcements.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
In 4 years, this could be you.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts.
You belong here!
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better everyday after. It's the first day in your new career, your first pay raise, the 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family, or the day of your last car loan payment, much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree, we care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Toolshed. Strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Halftime here at Carroll High School, the Chargers leading the Royals of Hamilton Southeastern 14-12. And right now, as far as the score is concerned, the difference is a missed extra point by HSE, followed by a 2-point conversion that almost was, but was dropped.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Thad. I mean, Osiki, you hate to see it because he spends so much of his time as a blocking back here for Coach Kelly and does such an outstanding job picking up weak side defensive ends or just, springing Alexander for big chunks. Alexander in that game, before he went down with injury, had 25 yards rushing on 10 attempts. Wilkie with 11 yards rushing on 3 attempts. Bradle had that 40-yard run that would nearly ended up with 6 points as he took it all the way down to the 1. He's got 44 yards rushing on 2 attempts. Haas, who had the big touchdown, the big middle linebacker, 2 carries and 4 yards. Thad, those are 2 huge carries. One of those picked up a 4th and short to keep that drive alive, where they ended up scoring that 25-yard touchdown to the big wide receiver, Donovan Hamilton. Man, Haas has come up huge on the offensive side in this game. We knew he was a great defender. I mean, he leads the Royals in tackles with 93 on the season. That's a lot of tackles from the middle linebacker position.
Well, for Carroll, one guy who has come up huge for them has been Braden Steely, both on the defensive side and on the offensive side. He has both touchdowns that the Chargers have scored in this game.
Yeah, Braden Steely. I mean, how many times have we said his name defensively? Last week he had the huge touchdown and led the team with 14 tackles. Him and Jorge Valdez, along with Ashton Pasetsky on the defensive side of the ball, are going to be neck and neck for the lead in tackles in this game. There's no doubt about it. But, yeah, out of the Wildcat, he rode his offensive line for that huge touchdown in the first quarter. And then the beautiful run in the second after the blocked punt was big.
Yep, the block
for
punt that set him
Carroll.
up at the 15.
Yeah, here you see him right here on the – look at the field. It looks so clean right there. Take us back to 7 p.m. earlier tonight. Well, it's 8:39 right now, and the field is absolutely covered, but that's the first touchdown there by Steely.
Field is covered and wind is swirling in. Now, I'll tell you what, one thing that did stand out from the one other thing I should say that stood out from the first half, Camden Hirschberger, I believe, has just 2 catches so far, but we do have a whole nother half to play. Who knows? He may start to get a few more targets there in the second half. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, these wide receivers have been huge, especially Jaden Hill, but we'll take another look at it. Look at the dancing in the pocket. Like you said, Thad, he was looking to throw. That little spin move right there was a thing of beauty and just squeezes it inside the pylon. You know, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. To steal a cliche, but that's Braden Steely for you, and we've known it all season long.
So Carroll with a 14-12 lead and just about 4.5 minutes to go till halftime gets done. Well, actually, the teams will get about 3 extra minutes of warm-up. And I think we got another replay to show you.
Yeah, well, I want to show you the play that helped make that last touchdown happen, okay? This is Michael Dierkman on the bottom of your screen, number 15. You see how he came right inside the blocker, split 2 blockers, and that was one of the easier blocked punts that you're ever going to see as he just stuck out his paw and just palmed that ball down. Jorge Valdez able to scoop it up for Carroll.
14-12 for the Chargers. And again, the winner of this game moves on to the Class 6A state championship in Indianapolis. And another replay here brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance.
Yeah, every single time Hamilton Southeastern is in a short-yarded situation, they give it to that big middle linebacker, Haas, and Haas does the rest. Only 2 carries in this game, but they have been 2 very big carries for Griffin Haas, who is a senior at 6 foot, 210 pounds. And Thad, you got to love it here. Once again, if you're a Royal fan, if you're Coach Kelly, who's in his 3rd season, but how about Bradle here? All kinds of time to throw the ball. Carroll only rushing 3 defenders, throws up the jump ball. Jorge Valdez with the defense right there. And you know what? That was great defense by Valdez, who goes 6 foot, 190. But Donovan Hamilton goes 6'4", and that's just kind of one of those basketball plays right there where he just went sky high for the rebound and brought it down.
Well, Andrean is leading Lures 14-6. They've got 10:22 left in the second quarter. I believe that was an 8 p.m. start, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right about that one. You know, Lures having to travel all the way out there to Maryville. We're kind of thinking about these conditions and feeling bad for the players. I wonder what it's like up there at Andrean. You're so close to Lake Michigan. I'm wondering if they're getting that lake effect.
They probably are. And, you know, with them getting a later start and having to drive all the way over to Lake Michigan, it's either going to be a long bus ride home or maybe they found a decent hotel to stay at for the night. Well, we don't know about that one. But anyway, got about 2 minutes to go, and actually the kids will get an extra 3 minutes to warm up when we come out of the halftime break and go get ready for the start of the second half. Back to break here on this broadcast of the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, powered by Summit City Sports.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, it's a 14-12 lead for the Carroll Chargers over the Royals of Hamilton Southeastern. The kids are getting a few extra minutes of warm-up, as is customary.
Yeah, Thad, and what a great first half there. One key stat to note, Carroll had 4 penalties for 40 yards. Hamilton Southeastern, 0 penalties. Looking at the Chargers, how about Jimmy Sullivan? Completed 5 of 8 passes for 101 yards. None larger than that 70-yard reception to Jaden Hill on the very first play from scrimmage. That one shocked a lot of people, I think, when Carroll in these conditions came out in an empty backfield.
Came out in empty backfield, got a big play out of the first play from scrimmage, and then that led to that 1-yard touchdown run by Braden Steely, and he got that touchdown on 4th down. They just kept pounding it with Braden and eventually wore the defensive line down.
Ty Bradle was pretty awesome as well. 5 of 9 passing for 87 yards. Bradle, who had that 25-yard strike to Donovan Hamilton. Hamilton, 3 receptions for 44 yards. Hamilton Southeastern with 4 first downs in this game. Carroll with just 3.
Of course, Carroll had that short drive to end the first half. Well, it didn't quite end the first half, but late in the first half after that block punt by Michael Dirkman, that was when Braden Steely scored on the 15-yard touchdown run. Again, Hamilton Southeastern gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, they do. And once again, for Carroll receiving the ball, Cam Hirschberger had 1 reception for 4 yards. Hanson Hafner had those 2 catches for 16. Jaden Hill, 2 catches for 81 yards, the 70-yarder and an 11-yarder. Wilkie, remember, he had that jet sweep. That was a 32-yard reception for Wilkie. And then Silas Newton with the 11-yard grab for the Royals.
And Carroll did win the toss and elected to receive at the beginning of the game, so that's why Hamilton Southeastern gets the ball to start the second half, and some of the Carroll players taking advantage of those heaters down there on the field.
Yeah, they are, and I'm a little confused here. So Hamilton Southeastern got to decide that they wanted to return, but Carroll's going to be kicking from the south side of the field, which means Hamilton Southeastern will actually have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter. So that's good news for Coach Kelly and the Royals.
Sebastian Lopez sets it up, and we are just about ready to start the second half.
Yeah,
sounds like Jalen Alexander's back, along with Clayton Wilkie to return.
And you absolutely love to see Alexander back in this game for the Royals.
There's Lopez's kickoff. He angles it. It will be fielded at the 5-yard line. Out across the 20 to about the 25. And that's where Hamilton Southeastern will start their first drive of this second half.
Yeah, that's a big tackle down there by Joseph Nuttall, who's been outstanding on special teams for the Chargers. And you got to love it right there. Coach Dinan said, all right, enough with the touchbacks here. We're going to squib it a little bit and see what happens on this slick surface, Thad. You never know with a bounding ball. You could, bobble it a little bit. Could be a ball on the turf. Maybe your team comes up with it.
Especially on those kickoffs. Obviously, it's not like the punts where you have to touch the ball to make it live. And straight up the middle is Alexander. And it initially looked like he was going to slip the tackle, but in the end, Maxton Wired, the senior linebacker, with the tackle for loss.
Max Wired and these linebackers, this front seven for Carroll has been awesome all game long, making it hard on the Royals to run the rock. Check out Wired there. The right middle linebacker breaks right through the line and wrestles him down for the tackle for a loss.
2nd and 10, pistol formation for the Royals. That's Wilkie going in motion, and Bradle will roll to his right, goes to the sideline, and that is complete. And making the catch on the play was Donovan Hamilton. We'll see where they spot him. Question is, where did he go out?
Yeah, great timing pattern. Hamilton's going to be about 1.5 yards short of the first down, but you see the sure-handed receiver right there, tight-roping it on the sideline there, making the grab. Boy, Ty Bradle sure does look comfortable on the rollout.
3rd and 1. It's Alexander straight up the middle, surging through for a first down and all the way to the 45.
Actually, I think that's A.Z. Wallace right there, number 33. Look how low he gets his shoulder pads down there, wins the leverage battle, and barrels through for a huge gainer there and a first down.
1st and 10 from the 45 after that great run up the middle, and you're right, it was number 33, A.Z. Wallace. And Wallace bouncing off the left side, carrying tacklers with him. He's finally ridden down. And I think that was perhaps number 37, Zach Hess with the tackle.
Oh, that was number 23, Ashton Pasetsky, the right defensive end. But Thad, a lot's been made about Dominic Burgett, the defensive end for Hamilton Southeastern. He's a good wrestler. I'm telling you what, A.Z. Wallace, he's so good low to the ground right there. I'm sure he's a wrestler as well.
Wallace up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's got a first down.
So how about A.Z. Wallace? You know, you're getting pounded by Jalen Alexander or you're getting pounded by A.Z. Wallace. Wallace doing a good job once again getting low and squeezing forward. He got skinny right there, turning his body sideways for another first down.
From the 41-yard line, the Royals continue to move the football, and it's Wallace again, tried to slip through. He might have gotten a yard on the play. That's about it.
Yeah, Solomon Aduma did a good job there along with Cam Lentz. Lentz has been awesome in this game from his middle linebacker position. Boy, Hamilton Southeastern, they like to just gash it until they can break one. We saw it in the first half. What they did was they faked the handoff to the running back, and then they rolled Bradle out for a QB keeper. We'll see if we see it again.
2nd down and 9. They fake the handoff this time, and Bradle, big hit.
Ooh,
and a flag appears to have come out.
Jorge Valdez came up and laid the wood. Donovan Hamilton slow to get to his feet, but he's on his feet. Make no mistake about it, Thad.
Well, that was definitely a... Did I just see a signal for ineligible man downfield?
If so, it would be Hamilton Southeastern's first penalty of the game.
I thought I saw the official put his hand on his hat. Well, here comes the referee. I guess we'll get a clearer signal here. Yes, it is an eligible man downfield.
And let's take another look at this play. A good pass breakup by Jorge Valdez. They're on the top of your screen. Wow, triple coverage there, but Hamilton, and you know Bradle can thread a needle. But wow, what a play that was. But like you said, all for naught as it was a legal man downfield.
I was about to say, as I was watching it live, it looked like Valdez just simply went shoulder high, didn't go for the head or neck.
No, that was pretty clean right there. Valdez now on the bottom of your screen as it's him and Steely, the two safeties. Valdez is going to split the two receivers on the bottom of your screen. Steely just up above the box.
From the 50-yard line, Bradle will fake it. Wants the deep shot, takes a deep shot into coverage, and it's intercepted. I believe it was Michael Dirkman on the pick, and he gets it out across the 30. Same guy that blocked the punt.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, that was some great coverage by the Chargers, and Steely was coming over also. I'll tell you, Bradle had nowhere to go with that ball. Dirkman, we talked about it earlier. Man, he's an interception machine here for Carroll on the season. That's going to be his 4th interception. Jorge Valdez also has 4 interceptions. But check out these guys. First, Braden Steely on the top of your screen. He's going to come over. He's got the underneath, and then Dirkman jumps right in front of it. high points that ball for the pick. Outstanding.
Pistol set on first down as Sullivan will hand that one off to Steely, looking for some room, and there's not much there. He'll lose a yard.
What a huge game by Dierkman. A blocked punt in your opponent's zone close to the goal line, and then that interception right there to break up that drive. Hamilton Southeastern really had a good drive going.
Absolutely did. A huge turnover forced by the Chargers, and now they'll look to take advantage and at the very least change the field position.
It's like that was a loss of 1 on the play.
Sullivan fakes it, rolls to his left, throws, has it tipped at the line, and it's incomplete. I think Judah Parker was there bringing the pressure for the Royals.
Yeah, Dominic Burgett, number 5, the big defensive end. Burgett's also got 2 blocked field goals on the season, so that just tells you a little something about that defensive end. Extremely athletic here, the right defensive end on the play, and they're going to come after Jimmy. Burgett on that one gets through 2 blockers.
3rd and 11, Sullivan looks to throw, floats it down the middle, and it is incomplete.
Wow.
Nearly pulled in, and that might have been Hill.
That was.
Hill looked for a moment like he had it.
Jaden Hill nearly came up with that catch in all kinds of traffic. That would have been a huge grab, but there was so much contact, you can't fault him for dropping it. What a play there. That was number 8 for Hamilton Southeastern. That was Cole Earlywine, the safety.
High punt, going to be probably down at around the 30 or less.
Thad, can you believe it? 6 Chargers around that ball. This punt coverage team has been outstanding for Carroll.
They do the little things well, don't they?
Sure do.
HSE will take over with 7:59 to go. The Royals had a great drive going the last time they had the football. It ended with Michael Dirkman's interception.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Hamilton Southeastern, you're probably going to go right back to AZ, as he had a great drive there to open up the second half. Azariah, once again, just a sophomore.
Royals sub a guy onto the field.
Yeah, that's number 13, McCoy.
They fake the handoff and throw the screen, but that one skipped into the dirt, or at least I thought it did. Wilkie picks it up and run with it, and now they do call it an incomplete pass. That looked like that ball skipped right at shortstop.
Yeah, sure did. Tell you what, he picked that thing up so cleanly that it was hard to tell from up here. Number 28, Wilkie for Hamilton Southeastern.
Play until the whistle blows, right?
No doubt about it. Wilkie averaging 9.5 yards per reception with a long of 67 on the year with 2 touchdowns.
2nd and 10, the Royals go out of the pistol. And it's Wallace off the right side. And he dodges a tackle, I think, from Steely. It was either Steely or Anderson who went to make the tackle, and Wallace dodged it.
Yeah, I think it was both of them. 2 spin moves here by AZ on the 12-yard gain. This is an outstanding run by the sophomore, number 33. You see him kick it outside. 1 spin move. Another one gets underneath the tackle of Braden Steely. Takes it all the way to the 40. What a run.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. And once again, HSE's got a drive going.
You got a big boy back there like AZ. After a while, it kind of hurts coming up and making them hits.
Bradle throws to the sideline. Incomplete.
Wow.
He was looking for Wilkie down the seam.
And I'll tell you, Jorge Valdez was not happy right there because he knows that the Chargers got away with one. Wilkie was wide open in the seam right here and just got overthrown. Check it out one more time here on the Traction AP replay. Ty Bradle absolutely had the nice read. You see him look to the left first, went to his second progression, just overshot his man.
Meanwhile, Snyder's lead is now 14-6 over Valparaiso. As Bradle looks to throw, gets some pressure. Pisetsky getting to him, and Bradle throws it away.
Yeah, another wise play there by Ty Bradle. You can tell that he's a senior at 6'3", 190 pounds. He makes the smart plays out there, Thad.
Yeah, I believe the guy that just came in for Carroll is Julian Ritterheim.
Yeah, Ritterheim has been a good middle backer for them all season long. Entering today, now he goes 6'4", 205, but 20 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and a sack, and a fumble recovery by Julian.
Three linemen at the line of scrimmage. Play clock is winding down. It's down to 2. Wilkie motions, and up the middle goes Wallace, trying to pick his way. He lunges ahead. Going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, by about 2 yards there, but you see him put his left hand down on the turf and pick up another 2 yards. I almost thought he was going to crawl for a first down on that one, Thad.
I would think that Mike Kelly's going to keep the offense on the field here. They are switching guys on, but you run a play like that, you come up 2 yards short. You got to think the mindset is they're going for it, and it looks like they are. Yeah, I think this might be another direct snap to Haas.
Yeah, the big linebacker going to call for motion.
He takes it. Haas lunging. He didn't get there.
No, he's short.
He's down a yard short. Was that Valdez who cut him down?
That looks like that was Anderson, number 24. No, Solomon Oduma.
I think Justin Anderson might have also gotten in the backfield and cut him down. He might not have finished him off, but I think he might have forced Haas to change his direction.
Well, let's take one more look at it, Thad. I'm going to slow this one up on the Traction AP replay. Haas right behind the motion man, and you're right, he got hit in the backfield first, and that was number 6.
Justin Anderson, junior outside linebacker.
Good call on that one, Thad.
Pistol formation for the Chargers as Sullivan waits for the snap, gets it, fakes the handoff right across the middle, and there's Cam Hirschberger for the first down.
Boy, that was a big catch, and what a quick hitting play as Jimmy Sullivan coming up a little bit slow off the turf. He took a big hit, but what a strike there by the sophomore signal caller.
I got to believe he was looking to get Hirschberger involved. That's not a bad way to do it. I believe that's Hirschberger's 3rd catch in the game so far.
You're right about that.
The 36-yard line. It's Steely looking for a hole, a change in direction. He'll get some positive yardage and a little bit extra out of that, maybe 5, maybe 6. They're going to mark him at the 31.
Yeah, look at the yak yards there by Braden Steely. I mean, talk about making something out of nothing. Check out the junior Steely here on this run. Nowhere to go. There's no hole at all. They're trying to run it in that A gap to the right side of the center. And wow, Steely's able to pick up 6 yards. That's unbelievable.
We have a timeout on the field. There was no signal as to who called it. By the looks of things, it did not come from the Carroll sideline.
Well, Coach Dinan's trying to get an explanation there from the refs. No, Abbs has got to come off the field.
Did his helmet come off?
So they're going to bring in number 72 to replace Abbs. That's Logan Garner, who's a sophomore defensive lineman.
Well, the only thing I can think is that Caden Abbs' helmet might have come off on that last play.
It's Logan Gamer, He's listed at 6'170". No. Maxwell Benarnins. There you go. 6'4", 265. He's a senior.
2nd down and 5. Back to Steely. He works the outside. Still on his feet. And he goes out of bounds. We'll see where they spot him.
Boy, that's real close right there. Steely tried to stay in bounds, but once again with the slick surface, went out right around the first down marker. No, they're going to say he's well short short of about almost 2 yards.
Yeah, you're right. Third down coming up here for the Chargers.
Boy, that doesn't seem right. We'll take another look at it here on the Traction AP replay. Thad, to see maybe where he went out of bounds. There's the, oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Slid out about the 32, and that's where they got it marked. Man, these referees are good.
Down to 3 on the play clock. Chargers get the snap off. It's Steely on a direct snap, and he finds a hole off that right side. Braden Steely took what was there and moved the chains.
Wildcat diamond formation. Steely once again gets the edge and takes it all the way to, looks to be the 17-yard line. Another great run by number 5, Braden Steely. You can see here, Wildcat formation out of the diamond, breaks 1 tackle, splits 2 defenders, and gets an extra 4 yards. That's a huge run by number 5.
And operating out of the pistol are the Chargers. 1st and 10. It's another handoff to Steely, and this time he's dropped.
That was actually Jorge Valdez in a big tackle for a loss by number 37, Cooper Short, the middle linebacker at 5'10", 180.
An injured Royal on the play.
Oh, no, that's a single-digit number. I hope that's not Brigette. Oh, no.
Well, they've already lost Evan Sherrill. He was taken off the field in an ambulance.
And that's an absolute huge loss. With Sherrill, you lose 20 or 2 QB hurries, but 16 and a half tackles for a loss and 9 sacks.
That is Burgett. Now he's back on his feet walking off the field. That's the good news.
That is good news, and I think he'll be back in this game. We saw that from Donovan Hamilton earlier for HSE.
2nd down and 12 coming up for the Chargers with 4:30 on the third quarter clock. It's the second possession of this third quarter for Carroll. First one was a 3 and out, but on this one, Chargers have moved the chains twice. I believe that's Hirschberger, the lone wide receiver to the left side. It's a toss play, and that's Steely cutting it upfield inside the 15. And a good gain on 2nd and long, rather. Set up a manageable 3rd down.
Gain of about 7 yards there for Steely, and you got to love it, Thad. I mean, Steely is not shy of contact. He is not scared. Here he's going to follow the lead of Hanson Hafner, who is in motion there. Great block right there by Jaden Hill. Cuts it inside for an extra 4 yards.
Snap to Sullivan. He'll fake it. Floats it, looking for Steely, and Steely appears to have the catch. He does. Will it be enough for the 1st down? It will. They're moving the chains.
Man, number 5, I don't mean to make him blush, Thad, but he is making plays all over the field.
He's made plays in just almost every way you can think of. Almost.
This time, turns his back to the goal line, falling backwards, and makes the grab. Here on the play action, holy cow.
He'll line up in the backfield again behind Sullivan and takes the snap. A change in direction, takes it inside the 5, trying to push the pile. And he gets to the 3.
Yeah, out of the pistol right there. And now you can see kind of Hamilton Southeastern being a little bit gassed there on defense. Steely really does pack a punch there from the running back position.
He's 2nd and goal from the 3. And Wildcat formation here. Diamond formation again.
It's Valdez to the right.
Steely takes it, turns it upfield, and looked to be in. 2nd surge. They're calling him short.
Oh, wow. I thought they got the push.
I thought he did too. I could have sworn he surged forward across that goal line, unless they're saying his forward progress was stopped.
could be, Thad. The other halfback left of Steely is number 21, Jeffries, the sophomore outside backer.
Valparaiso and Snyder are now tied at 14 apiece. Valpo just tied the game with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They're in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. They were a big underdog in that game, Thad. Wow, Steely for sure. You thought he was going to be in.
Back out of the pistol go the Chargers. Oh, it's a direct snap, and that's Hill, and he's got the touchdown.
Unbelievable. That happened so quick. Jaden Hill, the right tight end, went in motion, took the direct snap under center, and snuck it in for 6. What a play. Holy cow.
Chargers pulling out all the stops. That's 2 direct snap touchdowns for Carroll today, as Sebastian Lopez will set up for the PAT. A minute 37 left on the clock. And Lopez with some good arc under that one. It's good.
That Carroll had everybody fooled on this play. Sullivan looks to his left like he's trying to communicate with the receivers. Hill was in motion. I didn't get to it quick enough. That's my bad on the instant replay. But I'll run it back for you guys one more time. As you can see, Hill just moved from that right tight end position and then stopped right at the center. That is Jake Wilson, who was first team all-conference this year, and sneaks it in. Look at Sullivan right here. Sullivan is going to signal to the left to his wide receivers and kind of catches the defense sleeping a little bit. Wow, Thad.
Minute 37 to go, and that touchdown makes it a 2-possession game. As Sebastian Lopez has the kick set up.
Jaden Hill's first touchdown of this game, but he had a touchdown last week too, so that's a touchdown back-to-back weeks.
The game winner a week ago against Lafayette Jeff. Lopez gives that one a good boot, but it is returnable from the 5. Coverage is good so far. They almost get him, and now they do. And there on the tackle is Will Jeffries.
We've said his name a lot in so many different ways in this game.
Oh, we got another man down.
Yeah, we do have a Royal down on the field, but can't say enough about the special teams coverage for Carroll in this game. First the punt team, and now the kickoff team. Disciplined here. And Thad, you see that a lot there where on the top of your screen they're really pulling that side to the hash mark. But they actually kick it to the opposite hash mark. But good job just stringing that play out wide, and you get enough bodies to the ball.
It's the returner who was down on the play.
Carson Vogt also in on the stop. That I'll run that one back, see if we can catch the number on that returner.
The first one to get to him was Tanner Marker. And then Will Jeffries comes up to make the tackle. I beg your pardon, Graham Weidenhofer was the first to get to him. It's 2 number 17s on the Carroll roster.
Well, I hope that's not Wilkie. But why don't we'll get out of it, Thad?
But someone said 16, which I believe would be Adam Gerstner. In the meantime, we'll take an injury timeout. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
Yeah, that was number 15 for Hamilton Southeastern.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Tool Shed. Strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
Well, Mason Alexander was the player who was helped off the field with a few reinforcements. Got an update for you in a moment, but first, Royals go straight up the middle with Wallace. Did the ball come out, or is this just some pushing and shoving?
Yeah, AZ did a good job of getting both hands on it. He would not let the Carroll defense strip it away. And, yeah, that was on the return. Mason Alexander, a good-looking defensive back here for the Royals. Helped off the field there. Hopefully he's okay.
Well, how about this for an update? New Prairie kicks an onside kick and then scores a touchdown to go up 10-9 over Kokomo. Time's winding down in the fourth quarter, 2:45 left. Here, time's winding down in the third quarter. It's Wallace up the middle, and he is dragged and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
My goodness, once again, Cam Lentz from his middle linebacker position. Cam Lentz picked a good time of the year to have his best game of the year.
3rd and 4 coming up for the Royals on what will probably or possibly be the final play of the third quarter. There's about 6 more seconds on the game clock than there is on the play clock, so HSE will have to snap the ball.
And they need to pick up this first down.
Here's Bradle looking to throw. To the sideline, complete. They've got the first down.
Yeah, great job right there. Finding McCoy 1 yard beyond the yard marker. Picks up the first down.
And that looks like it'll be the last play of the quarter unless the ball is snapped quickly here. Down to 2 seconds.
No point.
That is the end of the third quarter. 21-12, Carroll on top. We're back after this break on the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
And the 4s are in the air.
Sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, Carroll leading 21-12 as we go to the fourth quarter of the 6A semi-state playoffs.
Yeah, and during the commercial break, they had a little disco going on here at that as they got All the Lights by Kanye playing, and the lights went out and they started flashing. That was pretty cool.
This will be 1st and 10 for HSE. Carroll got the only points of the third quarter. Jaden Hill with the tight end sneak, if you will, from under center to get the touchdown. And here's Bradle looking to throw. Floats it down the sideline beyond the reach of Hamilton. And the coverage was, I believe, by Carson Vogt.
Yeah, it was. He was in the area. Steely was in the area. Jorge Valdez was in the area. Oh, boy, that would have been tough right there. You know, Carroll's going to come out. They got this cover, too. That time, Steely showed himself in the box, but backpedaled quick to get to that 2 position, and 3-on-1.
I believe that's John McCoy who goes in motion to the near side.
McCoy wears number 13.
Handoff up the middle. That's Wallace, and he's wrestled down across the 30.
No, they gave it to number 28 that time.
Wilkie, Clayton Wilkie. Cam Lentz makes the tackle for Carroll, and it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 6. More like 3rd and manageable.
They're going to keep Wilkie in at running back.
They fake the handoff, and Bradle has a man out in the flat. Are you kidding me?
What a grab by Osiki. Dropped that 2-point conversion, but made up for it big time right there with arguably the catch of the night.
That ball was behind Jack Osiki, but still able to make the catch.
Unbelievable.
Well, East Central with a win over Roncalli in the 4A semi-state. Just got that update.
Yeah, they're going to state.
Off the right side, it's Wilkie. Looking for some room. Still on his feet, but not anymore.
Great job there by the Chargers defense stringing that out. Led by number 6, Justin Anderson, along with Royce Jones, number 99.
No gain on the play.
Hamilton Southeastern, 23 seconds on the play clock. You know, they've been playing hurry up all game long. That's not going to stop here in the fourth. Down by 9 points.
Snow's let up for a little bit, but that's been short-lasting for most of the night. All big hit in the backfield. I believe that was Wilkie who took the carry, and a lot of penetration by that Chargers defense.
Yeah, Ashton Pasetsky has been so good all game long. Solomon Aduma also playing that strong side outside backer. Man, it's been hard to do anything against the Chargers.
3rd and 10 for the Royals. They motion McCoy. They set the screen to McCoy on the right side, and McCoy has got nowhere to go. A couple of Chargers there to bring him down, including Caden Swedzinski, the defensive lineman.
Yeah, the nose tackle. Yeah, nice quick hitting play out in the flats, but once again, man, the Chargers are just swarming to the ball. They had 4 helmets at McCoy on that one.
Hamilton will punt. Still got all 3 timeouts and 9:47 on the clock, so Mike Kelly going to lean on that defense, see if they can't get a stop early in the fourth quarter.
That's Braden Totten for Hamilton Southeastern to punt it.
Good pressure up the middle, but Totten gets it off, and that'll bounce out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's good field position for the Chargers.
Yeah. If there's no return, you do not want Braden Steely returning that ball. I don't feel like it was a bad play at all. You know, a punt of 30 yards. Boy, that ball kicked straight to the right, didn't it, Thad?
It sure did. A little shank job, if you will. Well, I tell you what, Carroll has leaned on Braden Steely quite a bit in the running game. And it's interesting, even though Nate Starks, after he walked off the field earlier, he was raising his hands to the crowd. We haven't seen him back in the game. But no. Steely's filled in nicely.
Yeah, you're right about that. He takes that handoff, but nowhere to go.
Swarmed under by the Royals defense. That's going to be a loss of 4, maybe 5. Make it 5.
Yeah, Dominic Burgett and company set the wall there, leaving Steely nowhere to go. Check out Burgett there, number 5 on the bottom of your screen. Good job by the right defensive end, Stuart Stovall, as well.
2nd and 15. Jorge Valdez just entered the game.
Jack Seifert, the nose tackle, also in on that play.
Twins to either side of the field for Carroll. And it's Sullivan looking to throw. Pressure comes. Sullivan still on his feet. And he's going to be sacked out of bounds along the sideline. Was that Burgett?
Boy, it looked like it was the right defensive end there, Stovall. Once again, good job there by Sullivan getting out of the pressure in the pocket. What do we have? Holding on Carroll. Let's see if we can see it here on the Traction AP replay.
They are going to mark it off.
Jeez Louise.
Spot of the foul was the 25-yard line, and that means this is going to be 2nd down and 30.
Boy, I didn't see who the hold was on. I'm telling you what, talk about finishing there. That was Aiden Hundley, number 74, 6'2", 250. Hundley, who was a first-team All-Summit Athletic Conference player this year. Holy cow.
They're marking it off again, it looks like. The ball is right now going to be spotted back at the 30.
Thad and Steely's on the sideline here getting worked on. Looks like it's his left calf.
Well, holding is usually marked off from the spot of the foul. Apparently, Hamilton Southeastern declined the penalty. Well, that was a loss of 4 or 5 on the play, which normally would mean that this would be marked at either the 25 or the 26 if they're declining the penalty.
Yeah, that's strange. Sullivan went out right around the 26-yard line. You're right, Thad.
Smart move to decline the penalty, though, on the part of Mike Kelly.
Jorge Valdez now in at tailback. This is the third tailback we've seen for Carroll.
And by declining the penalty, obviously you don't give them another down. They don't have as far to go for the first down, but you don't give them another down either.
Wow. So New Prairie comes back to beat Kokomo 10-9, so they'll play East Central for a state championship.
Carroll still getting guys set. I believe that's Valdez and Hirschberger, and now Sullivan goes over, I think, to Valdez. Play clock's down to 4. Sullivan gets it off, gets some pressure, flushed out. Is he going to run? He is, and he slides down just short of the 45. Make that the 35.
Yeah, right at the original line of scrimmage.
Well, I hope Sullivan's not hurt. He was grabbing his, looked like his left calf. Maybe, looks like he's okay. He'll be worked. Looked like he was about to be worked on, though.
Well, in this game right here, Hamilton Southeastern looking to get to their their 5th state championship game. As for Carroll, they're looking for their first ever state championship game, Thad.
Dominic Dempsey on to punt it away. So, Mike Kelly basically told his defense, guys, we need you to go out there and get a stop. They did just that. Dempsey gets it off, but that is a short punt, and I mean really short.
Yeah.
Out of bounds at the 44.
Yeah, that's going to be the 44-yard line. So Hamilton Southeastern with great field position here. 7:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll see what Coach Kelly can draw up. Thad, 46 seconds left over there at Spooler Stadium, and Snyder and Valparaiso are tied at 14.
Well, Snyder took over on downs with 1:26 left to go. We got the update there. And now I'd be interested to see how that one might end. Wonder if we might be looking at if we might get a Nick Talamontes sighting.
A.Z. Wallace in that running back.
It will be Wallace getting the call. He lunges ahead of the 40-yard line.
Gain of about 3.5 yards on the play. Pisetsky with another tackle there for the Chargers.
When in plus territory, you've obviously still got 7.5 minutes. Not really a surprise that Kelly went to the run game right there. They faked the handoff this time. Bradle could not get away. Pisetsky was the first to get to him. It won't be a sack, but he stopped for a short gain.
Yeah, and he got some help from his friends. Julian Riddleheim out there along with number 42, Cam Lentz. Man, this Carroll defense.
This is 3rd and 5 after the tackle. As the crowd right in front of us, the home crowd, getting loud, and not just Neon Nation, way down at the bottom. Bobbled snap. Bradle's going to keep it, and he gets a yard maybe, but that's well short of the line to gain. No gain on the play.
Yeah, but this is definitely 4-down territory if you're Coach Kelly. And what do you do in this situation, Thad? The defense is held up tough up the gut. You know, maybe you fake it to AZ up the middle and get Bradle on a rollout to try to find Hamilton somewhere in a situation where he can either run or pass.
4th and 5. Can the Carroll defense make another big stop? Bradle throws and completes it. Donovan Hamilton with the first down catch, and the Royals move the chains.
Yeah, and when in doubt, go to your PT peer, Donovan Hamilton, prime time.
Coming up on 6 minutes to play. Clock has just started as the chains have been reset. Bradle again. Running out of time, and he will go down.
Huge Royce Jones from behind. Gets to Bradle. That's going to be a loss of 4.
That's officially the first sack of the game. Royce Jones, who had 9 sacks leading to this night.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Valparaiso and Snyder are going to overtime.
Overtime, Thad, just about 3 miles away from here.
Low snap. Bradle's got it. Protection holds up, and it's incomplete. Dropped in traffic. I think that was McCoy who was the intended receiver.
That was McCoy. Went right through his hands, and Hamilton nearly picked that one up off the deflection. We'll see if we can squeeze this replay in for you guys real quick. Good-looking throw by Bradle. Has his man McCoy behind 2 defenders. Wow.
Silas Newton and Donovan Hamilton switching places in the formation. Wallace splits out, pressure right up the middle. That's complete, and room to run. With a big tackle in the open field, I think that was Vogt and Valdez.
Yeah, Clayton Wilkie with the big catch right
Steely,
there.
actually. Steely in on the tackle. And another 4th down.
Are they going to go back to Hamilton?
I would not be surprised. 4th and 4. The distance is less than the last time.
Carroll with 6 in the box right now, 3 backers and the 3 defensive linemen.
I think the crowd might be louder than the last 4th down. McCoy in motion. Bradle pumps. He's going to take it. Can he get there? He did not. He did not get it.
Huge defensive stand there. And that's Cam Lentz once again with the tackle on Bradle. Big time stop for the Chargers.
Well, if you want to give out a defensive MVP award, who do you give it to? Cam Lentz, Braden Steely, Jorge Valdez, Royce Jones. A bunch of them have made some big plays.
Check it out here on the Traction AP replay. Bradle wants to throw it, brings it down. Wow, Pisetsky. You'll have to go back and look at the stats, Thad. I mean, Pisetsky has been awesome in this game. Lentz has been awesome. The whole defense really has stepped up.
Handoff to Steely, and he picks up a couple, trying to tick some time off of the clock.
Boy, the snow has really picked back up too, Thad, with 4:28 remaining.
Mike Kelly has all 3 of his timeouts. At some point soon, if he can at least keep Carroll from getting a first down on this play, he might just end up using one. Carroll, meanwhile, content to let some time tick off the clock. There's liable to be less than 4 minutes on the clock when this ball snapped. It's Steely who gets the call off the right side, runs into some contact, and he's about 3 yards shy of the line to gain.
And a flag on the play. Boy,
check the penalty. Oh, holding against Carroll.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, good blocking there by the right side of the line, led by Caden Abbs. We'll see if we can check it out right there on the Traction AP replay. We got a wing as well, and I think that's where the holding is going to be called on. That's Jaden Hill. Not 100% on that one, though, Thad.
3:52 to go, and they mark it off from the spot of the foul. So Carroll is going to be at their own 10-yard line. On this side of the field, things could get interesting.
Boy, Jaden Hill, who helped extend that Carroll lead to 9 points with that unbelievable in motion, went behind the center and snuck it in. That he took a direct snap from the center, a tight end in motion.
This is 2nd down and 20. They have restarted the clock on the ready for play.
Boy, you just don't want to turn the ball over right now if you're Carroll.
They take the clock down to 4 before they snap it. Here's Steely trying to take some more time off of that clock, and Thought maybe force Mike Kelly to use some timeouts, but he is not using one just yet.
Yeah, gain of 2 yards on the play. I'm telling you what, just looking down there, Aiden Hundley, man, he's one of the nastiest offensive linemen in the 2-6-0. He can play.
I think Max Wyatt's helmet was getting cool. He was just heating it up over there on that sideline.
Yeah, Justin Anderson's doing a dance for the fans.
Did he learn that from Patrick Peterson?
I'm not sure, but we got a packed house right here, so he's got a lot of eyeballs on him.
3rd and 18, and back to the ground game with Steely. He turns it upfield, and a little more time will tick off that clock. Now you're looking at 2:43 on the clock, and still Mike Kelly not calling a timeout. He's got 3 in his back pocket.
Yeah, and like Boomer would say, tick, 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 as this clock is probably going to run down to about 2 minutes. So getting the punt off will be Dempsey. He's got about 15 seconds to wait, though.
Going to stand at his own end zone. Could take this clock just short of 2 minutes before they snap the ball. There's the snap. Dempsey gets it off.
Wow, what a punt.
Able to avoid the safety, and the punt will continue to roll. Well, given the situation, that's not a bad end result for Carroll, considering where they were on the field.
Well, you're inside 2 minutes, and it's a 2-possession game. So Hamilton Southeastern has got to get points on the board fast, and then they got to get the ball back, Thad. That's easier said than done.
Well, Snyder has taken the lead. Luke Hoppert, that is, throwing the touchdown pass. Not sure who it was to. So that's Snyder's overtime possession. Now Valparaiso's going to get a chance.
Yeah, how about Adams Central winning at 35-0?
Bradle to throw. Takes a deep shot. Into double coverage. Lot of contact.
PI.
And a flag is down.
Yep. Donovan Hamilton is an absolute beast in this game right there. Jorge Valdez had to do it. Because Hamilton can climb the ladder and catch anything thrown his way. Let's take a look at it here on the Traction AP replay, Thad. And Jorge Valdez is just, he's arguing that this is a 50-50 ball. It's as much my ball as it is Donovan Hamilton. Big throw by Bradle.
I'm not sure Hamilton didn't pull him down.
Well, they just get tied up right there, and referee throws the flag. Are they going to pick it up, Thad? They're going to pick it up.
Yeah, they've put it. The referee has put it in his pocket, or the umpires put it in his pocket.
Oh, they offsetting penalties.
How about that?
Well, and you called it. You know, at first I thought maybe it was Valdez with the PI. You said no, maybe it's on Hamilton. They called both of them.
Well, the only benefit that is for Hamilton is they get the down back. So they get first down all over again. And here's Bradle to throw. He's going to take another deep shot into double coverage again, and that might draw some pass interference.
Now
and there's a flag.
That is PI right there, as Valdez just lowered the shoulder on Hamilton on that one. Listen, they're not going to let Hamilton get another one of those jump balls, especially inside the 10. Take a look at this one, Thad, on the Traction AP.
Well, he ran into him like a bumper car.
A little bit, yeah. Kind of lowered the shoulder right there. You know, in basketball, when you lower the shoulder and you make contact with the defender, they like to call it the charge. Well, that time it's going to go against Valdez. And, you know, if you're Coach Kelly, I think they're just going to keep on going to Hamilton.
It's a 2-score game. Hamilton Southeastern needs, you would think, a touchdown unless they can get close enough to kick a field goal and make this a 6-point game.
And I don't care which wide receiver you are from the Royals, you're going to look up to the ball and you got nothing but snowflakes coming in your eye.
Low snap. Bradle's got it. Minimal pressure. He'll throw toward the sideline. McCoy. Oh, it's incomplete. Right through his hands. I thought for a second McCoy had that thing.
Well, that was a tough one there. It looked like McCoy was looking over his right shoulder, had to come back to the left shoulder, did get both hands on it, just couldn't hold on to it. We do have a flurry of snowflakes here. Thad, check this one out there. You see he was looking over the right, had to kind of come back to the left. Would have been an outstanding play if he could have grabbed it.
Coverage was by Carson Vogt. 1:37 left to play. Low snap. Bradle's got it. Running out of time. Ball comes out. That's a strip sack, and Carroll's got it. No, check that. I believe that was Cam Lentz.
Yep.
And are they saying a forward pass?
Yep, they sure are. Once you
was that Jones who got the pressure?
Looks like it. Once you start that passing motion, check out Bradle right here. He's going to roll out to his left. It was Pasetsky actually coming off the block there. You see how he's getting ready to get the throw off.
These officials are on top of it.
Most definitely.
3rd and 10. Bradle. Pressure comes down the middle. Incomplete, tight window. Valdez with the backside coverage.
Boy, great job by Valdez right there, making it really hard. I think that was Dirkman on the backside of Hamilton. They've got him double covered. They're not going to make it easy here for Hamilton.
Judging by this text, I think Valparaiso just scored. I was about to say I think they had 4th and goal at the 9. But they obviously cashed in, and now they got to get the extra point or 2-point conversion. Hamilton Southeastern has got to get at least a first down here to keep their hopes alive.
1st and 10. Look for that underneath route. You know, they've got some time, 1:28.
Low snap. Bradle has time. Right down the middle. A lot of good coverage, and it's incomplete. Carroll takes over. Valdez was in the area again.
They threw a flag.
A flag's down. Yep.
Yeah, and that just looked like that looks like that was just feet getting tripped up on that one, Thad. I'm not sure what the flag's for. Was that Dirkman?
Pass interference. Pass interference on Carroll.
Well, we're going to look at it one more time because in live time it looked like their feet just got tripped up there. I don't know, buddy.
Well, Valparaiso has just defeated Snyder. They go for 2 in overtime to win it by 1.
Is that right?
Yep. Just got the text.
Wow. Well, that's a huge upset.
So Carroll still holding on with 1:21 to go. They've got a 2-score lead, though. Bradle in trouble and almost a late hit. Pass was caught down to about the 6.
That was McCoy with the grab. 1:10 on the clock, and the ball is set at the 7-yard line.
Short of the first down, so the clock continues to move. Still need 2 yards to go, and the handoff right up the middle. Wallace going to get the first down, did not get the touchdown.
What a huge collision there. Solomon Oduma and A.Z. Wallace. I could feel that one from up in the press box.
Caden Swedzinski, big 225-pound lineman, back onto the field. It's 1st and goal from the 1. And it's Wallace hit in the backfield and drop. Was that Swedzinski?
Cam Lentz and Justin Anderson. Unbelievable. Lentz has been absolutely awesome. Number 42, just a junior middle backer for Carroll.
So now a timeout taken by Mike Kelly. That's the first one that Hamilton Southeastern has used. It comes with 48.3.
Check out Lentz here, the middle linebacker. They're cheating close to the line of scrimmage. You have to. It's a goal line situation. Catches the back, and coming from the top of the play was Anderson. We'll slow-mo it and show it one more time for you. You see number 6 coming off the edge, crashes right down. Now you have to come upfield because your first responsibility is contained. Once he saw that it was a dive play, crashed down, him and Cam met at AZ. It's not easy to stop AZ in the backfield, but they were able to get it done, Thad.
Carroll's got like 4 guys, well now 3 guys, just 2 actually, around that heater. But now they can't help but walk away from the heater. They want to see what happens.
Hey, Shout out to the Carroll Boosters getting the heaters down there by the sideline. Actually, Hamilton Southeastern has them also.
2nd and goal from the 2. Direct snap, the ball is loose. And I believe that was Haas who had to fall on top of it.
That was Haas, all right.
And now I think Mike Kelly's got to use his second timeout, and he does with 44 seconds.
Going to have to use that timeout, Thad. Check this out. The snap is just a little bit low. Pretty hard here because it had some mustard on it for Haas to pick that one up.
How much drama can you have in a semi-state game? We're getting a little bit of it, even though it's a 2-score game. Carroll looking to get either a stop or a recovery on an onside kick.
Well, Hamilton Southeastern, I don't think they can run the ball here at that. I think they're going to have to pass it. They're going to have to get in the end zone, get 6. I would look for it to go to Hamilton once again. I mean, 1-on-2. You got to get somebody with some height on them. The safeties and the corners don't necessarily have that for Carroll to match up against Donovan Hamilton. But you got to get 6 here and get an onside kick. There's only 44 seconds remaining in this game.
This is 3rd down and goal from the 10.
Just inside the 10.
And that might be Wilkie in the backfield. Well, it's Bradle looking to throw. He goes for the 1-on-1. All batted away at the last second.
Outstanding play. I believe that was Braden Steely, number 5.
Steely with a great play from his safety position.
Boy, and they needed his help on that one because that's tough to ask of number 15, Dierkman, to cover the junior wide receiver, Hamilton. Let's check it out one more time on the Traction AP replays. Is it Carroll taking the timeout? Oh, we got a player down. See Steely come over and just punch that ball out. Actually, he was going up for the interception and nearly got it.
Is that Donovan Hamilton over there?
Yeah, I think that's Hamilton.
Well, he's been in this situation twice tonight now.
Well, Hamilton's got a great vertical. I mean, he's jumping up, 37, 38 inches in the air. He's 6'4", and when he comes down, that's the second time where it looks like maybe the back of his helmet hit that hard surface.
Well, it'll be an interesting decision here for Mike Kelly because field goals are not easy in these wind and snowy conditions. However, a field goal from here would be 27 yards. Not easy, but shorter than most.
Yeah, well, if you have to kick a field goal, Carter Gutt is your man. 10 of 12 field goals on the season, along with 43. Was 2 for 2 last week in field goal attempts. Of course, Hamilton Southeastern did miss that first PAT. They're going to bring out Gutt. So with the ball at the 10-yard line, this is going to be a 27-yard attempt.
If Gutt makes this, it's a 1-score game. And HSE would still have a timeout left. It's a low-line drive, and it's good.
Huge field goal there for the Royals. And the absolute perfect call there by Kelly, Thad. You had to do it. You got to get points on the board. You got to keep yourself alive. In that situation, what was it, Thad? 4th and 10?
4th and goal from the 10.
Yeah, 4th and goal from the 10. So you get the points. Now, if you get an onside kick, you got 4 fresh downs and probably going to have the ball somewhere around the 50, maybe, the 48 midfield, though.
And you do have the one timeout in your back pocket if you're HSE. Now, how much good that does you, we'll have to wait and see. But you can maybe take one shot toward the middle of the field, and obviously the clock will stop at least momentarily.
Well, you'll remember, too, with just 2 seconds left in the second quarter, they're at the 25-yard line, and it was Bradle who just chucked it up in the air, and Donovan Hamilton came down with it for 6.
Of course,
they can do it.
Of course, we got to see what happens on this onside kick as both teams will get their teams out there. somebody's going to be feeling up, somebody's going to be feeling down when this game's all said and done.
Well, nonetheless, you have the onside coming, so we got 5 Carroll Chargers at the 50 and 4 right behind them.
Belmonte with the kick, and the Chargers have it.
Wow.
At the 45-yard line.
What a great job there by Cooper Rudolph, picking that ball out of the air for Carroll. And that's it. The Chargers, they're going to go to their first ever state championship game.
All they need to do is come out and take a knee and maybe wait for one timeout, but even if Mike Kelly uses one, the play clock will be a non-factor.
Yeah, you're going to come down here. This is victory formation, and there's no better feeling if you're the quarterback, the sophomore Jimmy Sullivan, coming out to take a knee.
By the way, this Hamilton Southeastern team ranked 3rd coming into this game in Class 6A. Carroll was ranked 6th, so it's not like the matchup was uneven, as Sullivan will take the knee.
I'll tell you what, Thad, the polls I was looking at, the coaches and the AP on John Harrell had Hamilton number 1 in both and Carroll number 5 in both. Nonetheless, though, entering today's game, Hamilton South or Carroll, the number 9 ranked defense in the state. And that's
Carroll
it.
doesn't even need to snap it again. They're going to win this game and go to the state championship in Class 6A.
Can you believe it?
First ever trip to state for the Carroll Chargers. And it'll be next Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
We got snow angels and everything out there on the field as the two teams meet in the center to shake hands. 21-15, a great victory here. Oh, couldn't be any sweeter. And I'll tell you what, this game started off on the right foot for Carroll when Jimmy Sullivan hit Jaden Hill down the sideline for that 69-yard gain. That one right there was like, wow.
I think that was the biggest pass play of the game as far as yards per play is concerned. Carroll headed off to the state championship in Class 6A. That'll be next Saturday, 7 p.m. at Lucas Oil Stadium. For now, we'll take a quick break. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Welcome back, everybody, as Carroll wins it 21-15. We'll go over some of the stats in this game, unofficial stats. Alexander, though, who left the game, had 10 carries for 25 yards. Wilkie, 6 carries for 13 yards. Bradle, 5 carries for 49 yards. Haas, who had the big touchdown and the fourth down conversion, had 4 carries for 5 yards. Wallace, number 33, led the team with 17 carries, had 69 yards. Bradle in this game, 13 of 24, 122 yards with that big 25-yard touchdown to Hamilton. Hamilton, 5 receptions for 62 yards. Wilkie, 3 receptions for 46 yards. McCoy had 16 yards, 2 receptions. Oseki had that beautiful catch from behind his back for 6 yards. And Newton had 11 yards receiving. Looking at Carroll, Braden Steele, 20 yards 20 carries for 61 yards, 2 touchdowns, one out of the Wildcat, the other one, no, actually that one was a handoff from Sullivan. The other one was out of the Wildcat. Starks, Nate, 2 yards, 3 carries. Sullivan, 5 carries, 6 yards. Valdez, -2 yards on 1 carry. And Hill with 1 yard on 1 carry. That was that beautiful touchdown. Looking at Sullivan, 12 of 17, 118 yards passing. And receiving-wise, Hirschberger had 2 receptions for 16 yards. Hafner, 2 for 16. Hill had 2 for 81. And Steely, 1 for 5. Thad, who are these guys going to play?
Well, it was between Center Grove and Indy Cathedral. And I believe it was Center Grove who gets the win, 30-10 over Cathedral.
33-10.
33-10, you're right. But, yeah, it's going to be Carroll versus Center Grove for the state championship. And I need to correct myself. The state championship in Class 6A is going to be on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, 7 p.m. It will be at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
Well, what a game. Look at that. They all got the trophy down there. What a way to celebrate, isn't it, Thad?
It certainly is. The first ever semi-state championship, and now Carroll has a chance to cap it off.
Yeah,
they'll be going to state, of course, and we'll have to wait and see what happens, but they'll have the week to prepare. And here comes Neon. There's some of the members of Neon Nation rushing the field.
You're right about that, but, boy, back-to-back sectional championships. That was sweet enough, right? Coach Dinan, his 5th sectional title with Carroll. The Chargers 7th overall. Then you get your first regional championship, and now your first semi-state championship. Gotta love it, buddy. Gotta love it.
Absolutely. The Carroll Chargers a winner tonight over Hamilton Southeastern in a battle of unbeatens. It's Carroll who gets the win. And we're back in a matter of moments. You're watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, Carroll a winner again, 21-15 over Hamilton Southeastern. The Carroll defense played an outstanding game, and well, if you're going to pick a if you're going to pick a MVP type player or whatever, you probably give it to the whole defense.
Yeah, definitely, Thad. If you have to go with somebody on offense, then you really got to look to Braden Steely. I mean, you got to remember, 20 rushes, that's a career high for Braden Steely. He's never carried the ball that many times in a game. We don't have his defensive stats, and these are unofficial stats, but Aiden Orth did an absolute great job up here keeping stats for us. But Steely, 20 rushes for 61 yards, that churns that clock. That keeps that HSE offense off the field. Defensively, Ashton Pazetsky, I'd probably have to go with Cam Lentz, the middle linebacker, if you made me absolutely choose one guy. I just felt like we were calling his name early and often in this one, and number 42 probably had the game of his life.
Jorge Valdez also with some great plays in the secondary, and, of course, Royce Jones comes up with a sack.
And Dirkman with the blocked punt and the interception.
Absolutely, the blocked punt that set up the second touchdown of the game for Carroll.
Yeah, that was the big run by Steely. That was the 32-yarder.
So that's going to do it from here at Carroll High School. The Chargers win it 21-15 over the Royals of Hamilton Southeastern. For Jeff Mahoney and our cameraman Hunter Sosenheimer, our statistician Aiden North, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Carroll. Chargers take on Center Grove in Indianapolis next week for the state championship. You have been watching the 2022 football semi-state round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Summit City Sports.
There are fans, and then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here.
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 I belong here.
You're good at making big announcements.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
In 4 years, this could be you.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts.
You belong here!
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better everyday after. It's the first day in your new career. Your first pay raise. The 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family. Or the day of your last car loan payment. Much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree. We care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Tool Shed. Strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.